listening, and I forget what it stands for, but it basically says the individual is allowed to continue the group.
It's in both of our names, but it was her that went to the hospital, yes.
Okay, well, that's interesting. The bill, who is being collected? Is it you? Does it actually have an appearance? Usually the summons only summons one. I am shocked if they summons both of you.
Yeah, let me double check the summons. Yeah, defendants, me and my wife, yes.
Then you can speak. That's even better. So just go in and what are you going to say? I mean, there really is no defense.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if the judge can, have pity on me maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if they're even allowed to. You're going to say you don't have the money, right?
Right.
But remember, it's been a couple years. Why did it's been like 3 years. They're going to say it's not our fault he doesn't have the money. He let it go for 3 years. So just be careful. 303-713-TALK. Any and all problems, questions, and complaints we talk about here. Collections is a big one, and bankruptcy on medical bills. It's the number one reason people go bankrupt. And there are certain lawmakers trying to get credit reports amended so a bankruptcy or a collection for medical bills doesn't weigh as heavy as other collections because it's such a, shall we say, innocent bill as opposed to going out and purposely drumming up a lot of debt. So there's something in the works right now. In fact, there are a lot of things right now that lawmakers are considering when it comes to amending credit reports. And credit reporting agencies are on the chopping block because they have been abusive to consumers. For a long time, credit reports have been used to blackmail people because all you had to do is say the money is owed, and you don't have to show any proof as a creditor. Then the person has to prove they don't owe it, and they can't buy a house. They can't get a loan. Their insurance company, their insurance premiums go up. Their lives are upside down based on an accusation. Now, don't forget, we have Panacea Life Sciences here. If you do want to talk about, this is important, if you want to talk about CBD products, we do have some questions about it by email we'll get to. Sierra, what's happening with you, Sierra?
Well, Tom, let me just tell you. So I stay in a mobile home park, which is privately owned, and it is Elm Ridge Mobile Home Park.
Do you own the do you own the mobile home or not?
No, it is renting property. And
do you rent from the park or from a mobile home owner?
From the park itself.
Okay.
They have an owner, and they're private owners, and they actually have two parks.
I understand, but I just need to know, does the park manage this rental for the owner, or does the park own it?
I'm pretty sure they own it.
And they're renting out their own trailers in their own park?
Yes.
All right, hold on a sec. We'll come right back to you.
Now, impact traffic.
Even though the highway drive is easy
up across town, that doesn't mean there are troubles both on and off the highway across the
So what was the number one commercial? The groundhog?
Yeah, I want to.
According to that.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it is. The Golf Expo this week.
He's trying to get your attention.
Yes.
Bundle home and auto with Farmers Insurance, and you can save an average of 20%.
You. So many times people do not call a company because they have fear, especially when it comes to electrical. or plumbing, of course, or anything. Here's the deal with Fix It, and this is what I love about Fix It 24/7, fixmyhome.com. No matter what the problem, they will come and find it and give you a solution in writing for $39. It's the cheapest $39 you'll ever pay. And of course, they're hoping you get it fixed. So they credit you the $39 if you have the work done. If not, that's all you pay, $39. Fixmyhome.com.
Hey, do either one of you remember the King of Kings issue?
Yes.
It was, do you,
Yes.
what,
Yeah.
Somebody's asking what happened there.
It was a technical thing where he owed $1,700 or something like that, and all the guy wanted was his master shower redone. Okay? And the master shower issue, this guy said, there's only a few tiles that need to be done. The guy's an exaggerator. Then he started bragging about how he's a
That's right.
Christian.
Oh,
and
right,
Yeah,
right.
and how he doesn't know anything, and how the guy is the worst. He was the worst he's ever dealt with, ever.
Right.
So what was the resolution on that?
Nothing,
No,
because
he was going to finish up the job.
Right.
Tom told him to pay for it, and if it didn't get done according
I
to
said,
the...
although
was going to go out there and
although
look
I
at it.
said the guy was handling it in a stupid way, the way he did it, he was so,
I remember.
yeah.
You're
like,
right, Clint was. I wonder if
Wasn't Clint going to go out there and look at it?
Yeah.
Because it's close to him. But then take him to small claims court if he doesn't do it according to what he thinks it should be.
Right.
You know, but still, it's just the wrong thing, man. It was wrong. The way he handled it.
He was trying to be holier than thou.
In my,
I can imagine his wife must have been a real pain. That's
you
what
know,
the guy
but
was
really,
saying.
don't you think
He
this
said
guy?
that.
Yeah, that's what the problem was.
But don't you think the guy handled it the wrong way?
Yes, he did handle it the wrong way.
Plus, he was getting paid for all the redos.
Yeah,
You know, because they were redoing it. They were getting paid. And
you know, one bad customer is worse than 10 good ones.
yeah, he should have just said, let's get this baby done and put it behind us as a lesson learned.
That's when I got into trouble with Tom talking about evangelicals.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why you remember it.
So Dan, you're a Niners fan?
You know what? I wasn't a fan of either one. I just thought it would be a good, and just because of their defense.
It was a good game.
It was a very good game. And you're a football fan, I take it.
Oh, absolutely.
So you've seen the Niners game before. Garoppolo threw 7 times.
8.
Yep,
Was it 8 times?
in the last game.
And
Yeah,
They just, and it's some running back you never heard of actually.
Right.
200.
Most are-
20
yeah.
yards or whatever and stuff. I mean,
Mostert got 229 yards.
and I just thought here they would have.
Well, look, I'm a diehard Seahawks fan, so
Oh,
I get
you are?
so I get to see the Niners 2 times, right? And I thought for sure that they were going to be able to handle the Kansas City.
Like I said, I think there was some coach. I mean, if they would have stuck with their running game a little bit more and then mixed it up with some more play action and stuff, because Garoppolo is a good quarterback. He's not as good as.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. If you take a look at when we watched him against the Seahawks, the thing that didn't scare me was having Garoppolo with the ball in his hands. What scared me was when they had their trifecta of running backs. that
So
were
Tom,
all-
according to this other
You know, I
site,
don't understand
the Mexican avocado was the best liked
why the
commercial
Seahawks aren't a better team.
on MSN Sports.
because they're
Yeah, that was
there's a lot of parallels
nothing
between the
spot.
Broncos and the
Jeez.
Seahawks. So when the Broncos basically got killed in Super Bowl 48, they retooled and built their defense off the Seahawk model. As soon as you pay a quarterback, that's where you get into trouble.
So you can't get the
You
talent for the
can't.
defense.
It's tough to actually. You have to build it through the draft, and you got to get an offensive line.
But I guess even on the offense, because Wilson, he's like a small Mahomes.
But they did a rebuild this last year, so now they've got a wide receiver talent. They're going to draft a couple of linemen, but all of their running backs, they're good.
You talking about the Seahawks or the
Seahawks running backs? No, what's his name?
Rashad Penny,
Oh, no,
Chris Carson,
what was the one they brought in because they were?
Marshawn. But
Do
that's
you
because
like him?
I loved him when he was beast mode.
He lost his beast mode.
Well, you give him the ball at the 5-yard line, first and goal from the 5.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is where you can ask anything, make comments on anything, and really, the bottom line is this, is if we can't help you, we probably know someone who can. Now, Sierra has a mobile home she's renting. And what is the problem, Sierra?
Oh, well, it's just, I've been here, it'll be 2 years in November.
Okay, do you have a lease?
Yes,
All right.
I do have a lease. I have not signed a new one, and the lease was up supposedly the 1st of January. And we never signed a new one. You know, the owners, they never respond to my text messages or anything.
Well, but what does the lease say? What does the lease say about termination if you come up to the termination date and no one notifies anyone? Does it automatically renew, or what exactly does it say? Does it say anything at all?
Yeah, it'll hold that lease, and it'll be month to month.
Okay, so it reverted month to month.
Yes.
All right.
So now they put a letter on my door saying my rent's going from $795 to $950 with no explanation.
Well, they don't
why
have to. They don't have to give you an explanation. Why would they have to give you an explanation? Now, as long as it's according to the lease, this is what I mean. People mistakenly think when something goes month to month from the old lease that all of the old terms and conditions are in effect. They are, except for the rent, because if it says in there with notice they can change, then they just have to give you notice. Did they give you notice?
No, other than that letter there.
But when was the letter, in other words, was the letter given to you a few days before the 1st, or when is the rent due, on the 1st?
Yes.
When was the letter given to you?
Maybe 2 days ago.
2 days before your rent is due?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Okay.
It was put on my door at 11 or 12 a.m., and they got upset with me because I contacted them like the letter said, and they got really upset. But my issue is I don't care about the payment. It's the way they run the trailer park.
Well, no, I understand, but the time to address the way they're handling the park is not at the same time they're trying to raise your rent.
Yeah, no, it's not about that. It's the living situation.
Okay.
It's not even livable. My trailer has literally been
Then why didn't you give
apart.
notice? Why didn't you give notice and leave?
I gave them notice the first week I moved in, and they said they were going to continue to work on my trailer. They never did. It's been 2 years, and now they're finally working.
Sierra, you gave notice the first day you moved in that you were leaving, and then you stayed for...
that I was staying, and they were supposed to continue to work on the trailer home.
All right. Sierra, I need to know what you want, okay? Right now, you have rent due. I'm not sure if they gave you enough notice according to the lease. We'd like to see that lease. I can get an attorney to look at it for you free of charge. But I'd like to know what you want, because it sounds like you owe rent, and then we attack the other problems. That's the way to do it. If you've been victimized by a fire, flood, lease.
Got bad reviews.
Do you believe that's the first time she was told? I mean, if they told her 2 days before rent's due, that's kind of unfair, don't you think?
Yes.
Well, don't they need you in 30 days?
It doesn't, no, it could be 10
Depends
days.
on what the lease is, right?
Yeah, could be 10 days. Now, with the absence of anything written, a written month-to-month, which this is, requires 30 days. If it was verbal, it would be 10 days. It would never be 2 days.
So in
I mean,
most states, they got to give 30 days to raise the rent.
Right. Well, it is. They do with a month-to-month. With a written month-to-month, 30 days. So, you're right. In Colorado, if you have a written month-to-month, And that's what they have, because it was a written lease that went month to month. So they have a written month to month.
For 30 days to raise the rent.
That's what the law says, yeah. So we, tell Sierra to.
ABC News, I'm Alex Perez. On Capitol Hill, closing argument.
We can tell Sierra she does have them on something. Hold on.
The Chief Justice will step out during those sessions.
No, just tell Sierra that I think that we can help her with the raise of rent, at least temporarily.
Colorado's 10 days.
No, just have her hang on. Tell her I think we looked up the law.
It's 10 days.
Yeah, what's that?
10 days in Colorado.
Wait, for a written month to
Hey,
month?
this is
They have a lot of regulations.
Ken, I'm sorry, I couldn't talk to you
Several
before.
rent-related issues, including the amount.
Oh man, we were down.
10 days in Colorado for month-to-month leases.
But does it say verbal or written?
You want some coffee?
I'm good.
You can.
Verbal or written? Because I thought, well, no. Here's the thing. I believe if it reverts, and revert's a bad word
We got
because
good coffee too, just so you know.
if it goes month to month after a written lease, I believe it's 30. But it does.
You know, you guys.
No, I understand that. Tell her we'll address it.
Did you tell Tom if you're louder, you win?
No, but Dano, make sure we make that clarification. Either way, if she says she only got 2 days' notice,
I got one. Last night I reached out to Panacea about CBD. Steve Anderson wrote back and sent me free samples of Cherry Bomb 20 milligram and PM soft gel. Can the guy in your office talk with me? I feel the PM does great at night, but the Cherry Bomb doesn't help during the day. It also isn't a gummy. It's more like a lemon melt in your mouth. Any consult? Geez, how do you deal with that? Michael, on a side note, the halftime show was a soft porn show with all the gents in the front row with $1. I'm just going to send you this guy's email. You want to have someone email him or whatever?
I'll take care of it.
Forward to...
Or you can give him my phone number.
Oh, okay, I'll give him your phone. What is it?
206-962-7578.
Did you guys bring up your CU thing yet?
No.
CSU. We were down, we weren't going to the Springs. I had to go down to engineering and reboot our shit, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the first time that's happened in a fucking year. We're back up. I don't know what happened.
I did see it go yellow here, but it didn't drop.
No, not you. We have something else that brings it to the spring. Oh, what's this guy's name?
Drivers can save 40% or more.
Is that in the engineering room where you have to...
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, the halftime show, I think it was really good, but the camera shots were like right up Shakira's skirt.
I didn't see it.
So luckily, the Puerto Rican and the Colombian both have Brazilians. Otherwise, it would have been pretty ugly.
Pretty risque.
Yeah.
You know, they had one. Who sung the national anthem? I forget her name.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah, so one of the bets was, would she wear a gown, a dress, or a skirt? So that was one side of the bet. The other side was anything else. And I would have bet the skirt thing, she comes out in a pantsuit, for lack of a better word, or a jumper.
I wonder if she can actually make bet on the prop bet.
You know, the one that was really bizarre on the prop bet, man, was the Michael Vick one.
Yeah.
Listen to this, 12,000 to 1.
For what?
For the Michael Vick, if
He texted in
during the Puppy Bowl would he mention it, and I started thinking, geez, man, why wouldn't he have a buddy? He's not even in the NFL anymore.
Right.
That's where that shit gets really
Put
weird.
$1,000 down.
Maybe they factor all that into it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe actually they factor in the fact that he might do something like that or not. I don't know how that shit works. What color was the microphone? They had 2 over and unders on the length.
Did you bet on the Gatorade color?
No, and it turned out to be orange. You know what color they thought it would be? Everybody.
Green.
Red, because both teams are red.
Yeah.
They had to surprise everybody. Dave, did the tri-line get fixed?
Yes.
It's all done?
Yeah, we should be back up.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, I'm going to send myself that info.
Did you see my new Genesis SUV on the commercials yesterday?
It's not in the States yet.
It's
Is that what you're getting?
Do you own one of those?
It's my next ride. I have the 2019 2015 Santa Fe now, and I love that thing, the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yeah.
But he has the Genesis.
I got the G90, the big boy.
Well, you know, he should put that $200 that I gave him
in my wallet.
towards your Genesis.
You know how I look at cars now, Doc? I'm not kidding. I allocate what I want to spend a month on a car. And these Hondas and these Genesis, the one things they have done every single time, I buy them right. When I sell them, they're worth, the depreciation is usually less than what I owe on them. Okay?
Oh, they're great cars.
But what I'm saying is we get a new car almost every year, every 2 years at most, and I never change payment structure, ever. And usually there's 0% interest is the only reason I wouldn't pay cash.
Well, hold on a second on that. Keeping the
On that
payment
note,
the same. Keeping the payment the
never
same.
changes.
I know, but did that in the beginning? What did you have a big cash infusion in the beginning?
There was no beginning. I mean, there was no beginning. What do you mean at the beginning?
Well, no, what I mean is, was it a 100% loan?
Generally, I always have a 100% loan on Hondas because they have 0% interest. I try to buy when it's 0%. Like hers is 0%. There's no reason I'd pay hers off.
It's 0% for the whole life of the loan?
Yeah, hers is maybe a 3-year loan. I don't know. I don't even remember.
So at the end, or no, you don't wait till the end, right?
We always, except for one I had recently, my last Genesis, not my current one, we try to sell around 36,000 miles. That's when these things, one owner, no accidents, 36,000 miles.
So one payment,
they still got 24,000 bumper to bumper on the whoever you sell it to. So they're fully fucking protected.
Don't they have 100,000 on the Hyundai?
Powertrain.
Oh, okay.
Bumper to bumper is 60.
Right.
Yeah, but think about it. Think about it. It's one payment.
But the sweet spot on selling them is right there.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you with anything we can. This hour brought to you by GenesisTotalExteriors.com. When I say exteriors, don't get misled, they also do interiors. In fact, they do everything in the house, basically. And they do it well. I love honesty. That's my #1 requirement. Value, of course, but I can't dictate pricing. But you get everything with Genesis Total Exteriors, bathrooms and kitchens as well, and finished basements. Mark's had them do work. I've had them do work. We send him out as our expert, as we do almost everyone on a referral list, to look at things. So GenesisTotalExteriors.com, especially roofing and siding and gutters and painting and windows and doors, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. That's what we do here. We use our clients, our sponsors, also as experts. And they're on the referral list. So we have a family here, and we all help each other. We have, for example, Panacea Life Sciences in today. They do the realcbdthatworks.com. They do CBD. And I have an email that I'm going to get back to the phones, 303-713-TALK. Somebody wants to know, and I don't know. And once in a while, I might slip and say it. Now, I know CBD is good for anxiety. It's good for sleep, and it's good for pain. Is it an anti-inflammatory scientifically?
Absolutely. That's
See, I didn't know that.
Really?
I didn't know. No, I knew that it had pain-fighting capabilities, but it actually is an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that's its primary mode of action, Tom.
It's nature's anti-inflammatory. There aren't many of those.
There's very few.
Like, is garlic an anti-inflammatory, I heard, or maybe not? I know it helps with blood pressure.
Well, so anti-inflammatory is something that's going to interact with the immune system, right?
And it really does. I mean, in other words, it helps, and that's a major deal when it comes to pain.
Absolutely. And so when you take a look at a lot of the conditions that your listeners are going to have, many of them are going to be inflammatory in nature, whether it's pain, whether it's psoriasis, skin conditions, things of that nature, are all dysregulation of the immune system.
303-713-TALK. Mark?
You know these guys, and I'm sorry if I missed it. I had to deal with that outage we had, but did you know these guys donated $1.5 million for research? I heard it on the news the other day on Channel 9 or somewhere.
Yeah, they did. To CSU?
Yeah, so we established a cannabinoid research center up at CSU, and the idea is there's over 500 components in the hemp plant that we think can actually be developed into medications. And so that's what we're going to be focused on, and also to try and tease apart the wheat from the chaff.
Now, you would think that pharmaceutical companies, since it's such a cheap thing to manufacture compared to other products, and you would think they'd be more on the bandwagon of research so they can get these patents, because pharmaceutical companies are among the greediest in the world. And
yes.
I'm shocked they're not on the bandwagon. Now Sierra hung up, and here's the thing: Sierra basically had a month-to-month lease after a yearly lease. She had 2 yearly leases. At the end of the year, they did not renew. She did not renew. It just reverted month to month. It's a month-to-month lease. Then they told her she has a rent increase. You have certain rights for rent increases. I have read where the verbal month-to-month, they have 10 days. They can change anything or ask you to move.
It's written.
On a written lease, you say 10 days, Dan?
10 days, at least 10 days.
Is your mic on?
No.
No, it's not. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, at least 10 days before the last day of the rental month.
Wow. So even on a written, unless, of course, the lease specifies otherwise.
It can't specify shorter. It can only do it longer.
Right, right. So the lease requires a 30-day notice, which most of them do. For example, they usually say if you want to terminate or if you want to do this, you want to do that. If it's 30 days, it's 30 days. If it doesn't specify, it's 10 days. So that's whether it's verbal or not. It's 10 days.
And that's before the last day of the rental month, so they couldn't do it in the middle of the month.
Well, the middle of the month would be...
If the rent is due like on the 1st, they got to do it at least 10 days before that 1st.
Right, I understand. But they could do it more than that. They could do it in the middle of the month. Yeah, when you said they... Now, if it was the 15th of the month, they would have to do it at least by the 5th. So they have 10 days. So she is trying to fight on another issue. She's saying, well, it's not livable. There are many conditions. If tenants have a problem, it looks like you're just bringing it up because the rent was increased. If you are pissed off at your landlord or you have issues, bring up issues before renewals, before rent increases. It gets too muddy when you try to say, wait, I don't want to pay more rent when I don't even have this or I don't have that, because you'll lose every time. You will absolutely lose, and it'll be over. So I suggest you do not use the excuse that you have a problem when you get an increase. Do it before. Tom, you have a mobile home issue as well. Is that right, Tom?
Oh, yes. I am a Tom. Are you also a Tom?
Yes, I am,
Thomas?
sir. I am Tom.
That's
both,
unusual.
actually.
The only two Toms maybe in the whole country.
No, I'm actually Thomas on my birth certificate.
No, I'm a Tom on my birth certificate. I had to explain that to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Ohio because he wouldn't let me be admitted to the bar in 1958 by a nickname. All right.
And really, honest to goodness, they automatically thought it's Thomas, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Now, you were talking about rent a little bit here. Let me talk about that a minute in the mobile home parks. The lease in these mobile home parks states that your rent is due, especially by the Kingsley ones. It's out of Utah. They own 50-some parks in the United States and net over $300 million a year. In any event, the lease states that the rent is due by the 3rd of the month. If you don't pay it by a 3rd of the month, there's a late fee, but the lease also states that they are under they have no requirement to accept late rent. So if I go in on the 4th, say, to pay my rent, they can say, oh, no, we're not accepting it, and we're going to evict you. All right? And they have done it.
That's weird. That's weird, actually, because I would think that when they go to court, if he says before the judge, well, I'm willing to pay, I thought they had to take it. But, okay, that's interesting. Unless, of course, unless they had other violations. But you're telling me that, are you sure? Does that go for Colorado, though?
Oh, absolutely. I'm here in Colorado.
Okay.
I'm over here in Lafayette.
Now, you mentioned the bar. Are you an attorney?
I'm retired here. I've been retired here for quite a while.
But you read the Colorado statute, and you feel comfortable in saying that
absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, I'm involved somewhat in this amendment. We have a new law that was just passed to try to stop these excesses by the mobile home park owners, and it goes into effect on May 1st. They'll start holding hearings with a whole new bureaucracy in July.
All right. Okay, so right now, so you made a very good point. Now what? So you are late. They don't have to accept make-up rent. What happens then? You have to move.
Right. And that's what happened to this person that I'm calling about. He lost his home and everything in it. His home was worth about $35,000. To replace all the contents in it, another $35,000 to $40,000.
Well, wait. How would he lose his contents?
All right. Now I'm going to explain this. Are we on the air?
Yes, we are, sir.
Oh dear, this is going to take a little while.
Well, no, it's
right.
not. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you in that regard. Trust me. Keep going.
All right. We're talking about 10 years ago. Larry
Yeah.
Andrews lived here in a park, nice double-wide mobile home. His sister had just been arrested and convicted in Denver of forgery and theft. She has no place to live, so she moves in with her brother. A couple of years later, he's a contractor, does construction work. He gets employed by a company that pays him.
Let's get to the eviction. Let's just get to the eviction part. How does he lose personal property in an eviction unless he abandoned it?
Well, that's the point. He is late paying his rent. They evict him.
Right.
His sister then goes over and says, "Well, I'll rent it," and they said, "Well, you have to own it." And so he had just purchased the place, but he had not put. They're titled like a car. He had not put it in his name. It's signed over to him by the people he had paid off, and his sister calls him. Now, he's evicted. He says, well, the title's in my drawer. Just add your name to it and put it in both of our names. She does that, takes it over, and I know what happens then. She was told, oh, no, his name can't be on it because he was evicted. So here's where it gets bad. So she simply takes it over, forges his name to it, and puts it in her own name. Now, remember, she's already convicted of forgery and theft. About 6-7 years later, he moves back in with his sister. Management has changed here. They know nothing about him ever being evicted. They split the rent between them for a couple of years and so forth, and then they get in arguments. The sister moves out. The next day he calls me because I'm the president of the HOA here, and he says, my sister has had a for sale sign put up on my home. I go talk to the real estate agent. I know him. He shows me the title, and yes, it's in her name. And I said, well, what's happened? And I find out, and I tell him, no, she's forged his name to this and put it in her own name. So they are not going to represent a sale because there's too many problems with it. So now, in the meantime, she stops paying the rent. The park finds out that it's not in his name, so they go into court to get the title to the property.
Yeah, but where is this interesting to anyone? In other words, where does this have a lesson for today? I'm listening to your story, but what does this have to do with anything? People listening right now want to know, okay, you mentioned something. The guy got evicted and also lost his personal property. I found that interesting. And that's just well, okay, but that's because he chose not to get his stuff out of there. Had he gotten it out of there, he could have kept his stuff. They didn't put a lien on his personal stuff.
No. Instead, they got the title to the home, even though he showed up in court and told the judge, look, my sister forged my name to this. The judge said, well, that's between you and your sister.
That's right.
So they gave the title to the home, to the mobile home park. Now, if it is proven that it was stolen property, nobody can get title to stolen property. But instead, what they did, and their attorney told
where are we? But what again, this is something that will never, ever, ever, ever happen in the course of normal day-to-day business. So where are we going with the story, Tom? I don't really care that a brother and sister fought and she cheated her brother and she did a scam. It doesn't really matter to anyone.
All right. How about the end result?
What?
Once they got the title, their attorney said, we're going to put all your personal property in storage where you can get it. Instead, they pulled in equipment, a dumpster. They crushed the home with everything in it and sent everything to a landfill.
Well, they should have called us because we could have done something with the personal property part of it, but it's way too late. 303, Tom, like I said, Tom, you were telling me about a disagreement with a brother and sister and an injustice. We hear about this all the time. Things that happened years ago, nothing can be done about. We always hear about it. We do. I mean, so I want a lesson here. Therefore, do this. Make sure you do this. In an eviction, make sure you get your stuff before the eviction goes through. The ad meter says that now this ad meter, they claim, of course, many people claim they have the real meter. Groundhog Day was number 1. Smart Pak Yaka was number 2, and Google was number 3 in the most loved commercials. Mark, so that one that they're going by strictly by, what are they going by? I think they're going by views, but I'm not sure. They're saying Loretta, which was the Google ad, was number 3. Smart Pak was 2. Groundhog Day was 1. And the worst rated commercials, they also did. The lowest rated commercials, the one about Winona got really stinky results. No one liked that, apparently. And which others? There were some others that people hated. The Winona one was the #1 stinky one. The bank heist, the one with they had the masks on. They were waiting for the getaway driver who was looking at a short episode because of this new streaming site does fast entertainment. Each episode is 10 minutes or less. It's called Quibi. The idea sounds intriguing, by the way. Bloomberg's commercial was also stinky poo. And then the Fix the Pretzel one, I don't even understand that one.
What was Bloomberg's?
The Pop-Tart one. Bloomberg's was stinky poo. It was, let's see, first was stinky poo was Winona, bank heist second. The Mike Bloomberg ad was the third worst, according to...
No, I mean, what was it, though? Did you see
no,
it?
I didn't. I don't recall. And the Pop-Tart one, I don't recall. The Super Bowl with Trump and the criminal justice reform, where she says, I thank President Trump. That was one of the worst, according to this ad.
Which was worse, Trump's or Bloomberg's?
Bloomberg's ad was about gun violence.
This one here, Trump's, they said 62, number 62 on the bad list. Okay, so Trump's was worse. Yeah, if you read it that way, Trump's was last, then next to last was Pop-Tart, then Bloomberg, then the bank heist, then Winona. They were the bottom 5, but Trump was at the very bottom. And I think you're hearing a political statement there. They weren't judging the commercial. Come on. I mean, they're saying they didn't like it, but if it was about someone else doing this, if it was about Obama doing criminal justice reform, the same exact commercial with the same result and the same content, what do you think would have happened? So does that tell us about popular vote? Does that tell us about popular vote? I mean, I personally, like I said, it's not a political show. I don't see a prayer that he can be reelected based on what I hear in the media or see in the media, but who knows? I might actually bet Mark on that one. Not that I want it to happen. I'm not telling you either way.
On what?
I don't see a prayer that Trump can be reelected.
Oh, my God. How do you do that?
Now, Mark, I'm not speaking politically, okay? I just don't think...
I
think the tides have changed.
I don't think there's any poll that shows anything different.
I think people want a socialist...
Now I know you're lying.
I'll take that bet, Tom.
How
much?
I'm not. Listen, you do understand. I'm not trying to preach here.
I'll bet your helicopter. You want to get real? Let's do it.
I'm not trying to tell people what to vote. I don't care about that. I truly believe.
No, you
based
don't.
on what Mark.
You heard me. You don't.
Based on what I read, I believe most Americans want socialism.
No, they don't.
Okay. Well. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
I'm saying most don't.
From my perception.
Tom, you know what the problem is?
It can make you.
Thank you, Iowa.
I know.
They don't understand it's a political and economic system that's getting confused. So when they hear socialism,
most people don't know what democracy is.
Right, they think of China and Russia. Right, Mark?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
When they hear socialism, they think of China and Russia.
Okay. Don?
Maybe.
John Fuller is the kind of guy you can sit down with, have a drink, and listen to and learn. I'm serious. He's a friendly guy, but he knows what he's doing. You really have to have that combination to have the best results, and he does. If you are in an accident, call him. He'll give you free advice. He'll tell you what he really believes based on the law. And then if he takes the case, he believes he has a good chance of winning. And, of course, he only collects if you collect. But you never pay for his services out of your pocket. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
I think the most interesting thing
of what?
Of this whole political thing is if Sanders starts winning, what the Democratic Party...
Yeah, are they going to do a contested convention?
That to me is going to be the most interesting.
Bernie would never be able to win, and they know that on a national deal. He'd never hold... It would look just like... It doesn't matter. It's still... Here's what's going to happen again. Same thing. They're going to get the popular vote because that's the system they want to go to, and Trump is going to sweep just like he did last time.
There's no commission, no obligation, no
there could
So
be a
say
lot.
it to Shepard.
The DNC, if they do this to Bernie, could be like Chicago in '68.
I don't know what Chicago. I wasn't born.
That was the riots, Chicago riots.
Oh, yeah.
So you are admitting that Trump can't get a popular vote. That basically most of the country would vote for Bernie, is what you're saying.
No, because no. The way the system is, you know how that is.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's what his people do. They want to win in the system. If the system was a popular vote, he'd be spending a shitload in New York and California. I mean, he's playing to what he has to play to.
Right, the Democrats.
That's why he was in fucking New Jersey the other day.
But the majority of actual Americans want socialism. The actual.
No, I don't agree with that. I think the majority of California does. I don't even know about New York, honestly. You don't think the majority of California? I guess you're right. I don't think they do.
I don't think the majority of people want socialism.
I'd say maybe, here's the problem. They don't realize what they want is somewhat defined as socialism.
If you go outside of those two cities, then it...
These teenagers don't know shit.
Pretty red.
These 20-somethings.
Well, like I say, I mean,
it scares you. It will scare you. Not because of the political ideology, but because of the lack of knowledge.
Yes.
The lack of reality.
You know, I don't know if I told you this. Addie was she couldn't believe it. Her professor got up there the other day and actually said, the first day of school, wanted to know what they should be addressed as. What do they call that? The
pronoun.
The pronoun. Went through every fucking student like that.
Really?
I have never heard of any. I thought that was just all bullshit you see out there on the news and shit. But they're doing it.
You mean what kind of school?
Metro, downtown, college.
So university,
yeah.
They do that at CSU, CU.
They think it's all normal.
Preferred pronouns.
Her last semester, this was the first professor she's ever had do it.
They do this at orientation when they go in for their...
Don't you remember? Hello, jazz hands.
Please calm down. Please be quiet. You're offending my
them,
ears.
those. They, them, those. He, him, he.
Oh, and then here's one I just was asking Suzanne about. What is it? LBGTQ?
Right.
Now, Q is queer or questioning.
Questioning.
You realize if you look up the definition of queer, it covers all the other ones. Why isn't it just Q? Why is it Why is LB whatever? Because queer is the other ones.
Everyone wants
but they want a label that actually specifies
right.
their own group.
They want to be identified in a specific group.
Lesbians don't want to be grouped with
definitions in the dictionary don't mean anything.
Queer basically means you're not a normal, I don't even want to use normal, but you're not heterosexual.
Yeah, you're not normal.
No, and I don't mean that, but I mean you're not heterosexual.
Yeah.
You're not what used to be considered normal.
Queer, well, depends on there's many different meanings of queer. Queer means you're...
No, but I mean queer and LGBTQ.
Right. But the Q is the questioning.
And then is it all right to call someone queer? Is that cool?
No.
Mark, as far as I'm concerned...
But you can call someone a lesbian, that's normal, or is it not normal?
If that's what they accept as their label.
Oh, that's right. Now we get into that fucking shit.
There's no...
Oh my God, I would be the worst professor in the world. I would call everybody it. Okay, it.
So you should come up with your own personal pronouns. So mine's bro, dude, and
What?
yo.
What do you call them?
Bro, dude, and yo.
Bruh. Everybody would be bruh.
Especially lesbians.
See, I don't even know, you're right, because unless they tell you, is it offensive if you ask somebody, hey, are you gay? Is that offensive? I don't even know if that's offensive.
Everything is offensive. It's microaggression.
Well, I don't know. Does anyone ever ask, are you heterosexual?
Are creating this label at you, or the label's actually...
I'd find that offensive.
I
guess I really
I knew a
would.
lesbian couple, and she introduced her partner as her
Who
husband.
cares, guys? Stop.
Well, that's weird.
And I said,
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, I am not giving my political statements as to what I want or don't want, because you know what? It doesn't matter. What the hell do you care? You don't care what I think. I do think that there is a move towards socialism, and I'm just reading, okay? And a lot of young people, if you ask them about wealth, They automatically associate wealth with evil and wrongdoing. It's not an American dream.
It's because they don't have it.
Mark.
It is. That's why.
Okay. There are many kids who say that they don't even understand taxing. I saw a Facebook discussion where they were talking about taxing the rich 90%. They were actually talking about taking their net worth and taking 90% of what they've accumulated because it's too much for any people to have. They should not control the wealth. Now, listen, I'm just saying they have a misunderstanding of the basic notion of taxing or what income tax is or when income tax should be paid and all of that. You really, and you know what? If you go on a discussion and try to set people right, I've learned that you're never going to set people right. They have their own opinion. Normally, it's something that is a more of a background entrenched kind of feeling that doesn't simply change. It's something that grows. Wouldn't you agree to that it grows more than you don't think some kid or some adult, they don't get up one day and simply have a political leaning.
No, I think what happens is if they go through the system and end up in some of these schools, in fact, most of the colleges and a lot of high schools, they're brought in. They're introduced to a way of thinking that's absolutely insane in order to live by.
Okay.
That's what I think.
But Mark, okay, good. I'm glad you think that. What I'm saying is I will agree that they are introduced to a predominantly one way of thinking.
Indoctrinated.
In some cases, they are.
My daughter was just asked at Metro, what do you go by? Miss, Mrs., them, though, whatever they are.
Okay.
Pronouns.
Yeah.
What is that?
But Mark,
go ahead. Do you remember anything like that in your lifetime?
See, God, of course I don't. It's so, listen, I'm not trying to be even the voice of moderation. What I'm saying is, just as loud as you yell like that, there are other people on the other side yelling. I'm saying,
no,
what
they use jazz hands. They don't yell over there.
What difference does it make? Here's what I see with the pronoun thing, okay? Here's what I see, and with the gender thing, here's what I see. People wanting their individual relevance the way they see it, okay? It's not whether or not we believe it or they believe it or somebody else believes it. If they want to be known as Tom with THOM or Jerry with a, or somebody wanted their name with a X. They said it was an X, and they were so adamant about having the X in their name.
Listen, people aren't special. They want to be special. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of humans, and they're not special. I'm not special. You're not special.
But people want relevance the way they want to be.
Yeah, and I want free pizza like Bernie wants to give. Who cares?
And again, Mark, we can all trivialize. But the bottom line is these people are trying to say, I'm not just one of the crowd. I want to be this kind, or I want to be this, or I want to be that. Who cares? What I'm saying is we spend too much time worrying about that crap. I don't care if people want to be he, she, or them, or those, or they. Who cares? Do you really care?
It's exactly what you're saying. No, I don't care. That's my whole point. Who cares? Why do they care?
You care enough to talk about it because they care because people have brought it up. I think it's going to get way more ridiculous.
And how about the outright lying people do on the very far left? I won't even say Democrats. I mean the very far left.
And Mark,
you hear this shifty shift up there?
And Mark,
when he quotes people, he leaves half of it out.
And there's no lying on the far right, is there?
No, of course there is.
The
very far right.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You're not going to change people. You're not. Really, people grow into what they are, and they stay there for the most part. People think a lot of people change. They change over time. They don't change over an election. Hey, Derek, what's your comments?
Well, with all this non-political show talk, I really appreciate where y'all are at in your stances. And
what stance did I add, Derek? What stance did I add? What stance did I add? Other than you
were saying, as far as the way that y'all are coming across.
How did I come across, Derek? How did I come across?
Well, both of the far left and the far right are liars.
Well, I think they are.
Mark is right, and they are being institutionalized in all these, in elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and through colleges. they're being institutionalized into believing that socialism is the
First of all,
great way to go.
the word is indoctrinated. What I said about what Mark said is I said he was correct. There is an indoctrination and there is an overemphasis of one kind of philosophy. But where I stop short is saying it's ridiculous because there are as many people that will say the other side is ridiculous. Do I think it's ridiculous? I'm not going to let you know what I think. But what I'm saying is I do believe there are a lot of fallacies in both sides for sure. You know what I'm tired of?
And as far as the indoctrination or, the socialism, well, it
brainwashing.
It is
There's
absolutely
no brainwashing.
And institutionalizing, much like
You're using the wrong word, Derek. It's indoctrinating. I don't even know what you just look. I can't let a moron speak too long. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
Mark, I know what he's saying. They're trying to indoctrinate. Okay, they are. You're absolutely right.
Big time.
Anyone who says that the educational system does not lean left, they're crazy.
Tom, most of these colleges won't even let a conservative come on and speak.
No, here, I've always said this before. No one truly believes in diversity. The talk, diversity is a joke. I've said that. This is why. You have to be diverse within our definition of acceptance. Then you can be diverse within that group. You can't be diverse outside of that group.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross.
You know what? I want to get him to think I don't give a fuck.
Tom is the last living member of the
No, but I think if you...
I'm not neutral. I'm not neutral on anything.
I think if you dug in...
I am not neutral on anything.
Listen to what I'm saying. I think if you dug in
I'm not middle of
to what average Joe hears when you talk, they think you're a lefty. They do. I bet they do.
Far from it.
Pardon me, Tommy. I'm getting APO on for line 1. I just want you to know I'm getting an expert go with.
So,
that guy called back about the
He
fucking
did. I'm going to call him
if you remember
Thursday.
the
He
Apple
didn't have
commercial where
time
it's like
today.
Okay.
Very nice
1984
guy.
deal, black
Yeah,
and
good.
white.
1984.
Call him on
The
Wednesday when I'm
Apple
here.
basically came out
He said
with Be
Thursday.
Different.
Oh, okay.
He's not available.
1984
All right.
Sorry.
kind
All
of
right.
commercial where everyone's in black and white. They bring up this Apple Macintosh stolen
I
color.
didn't remember that one. Was it
A
yesterday?
long time ago. No.
Oh.
No. Like, this is like 15 years
I don't remember it.
But this was back to school night at this required class. It's really hard for these kids. And somebody got up and said, why aren't you actually representing both sides, both conservative and...
Okay, guys.
And it was...
Was it Steve Jobs?
DenverTrialLawyers.com. Catastrophic injuries. People say, Tom, you say they specialize in catastrophic injuries. What is that? Call them. Call them and talk to them. It's a free initial consultation. In fact, you never pay out of pocket. They only collect if you collect. Like all personal injury, it's contingency. But here's the bottom line. They take on those very difficult cases where you don't know where to turn. Medical malpractice, birth injuries, sexual assaults, institutionalism where they abuse you or you don't know what it is. Of course, if you're just plain injured, you're injured. 303-571-5302. DenverTrialLawyers.com.
It was Apple's 1984 Super Bowl commercial.
Oh!
So,
Mark, anybody who thinks that I'm lefty when I say they're talking about taxing net worth and all of this.
No, but when you say stuff
ignorance,
like... No, I'm just telling you. Listen, I know who you are. I'm just saying I know how it is interpreted when you say stuff like, I don't know. I just know how people are interpreting it. Not that it's a bad thing. I think it sparks great debate. That's all that really matters. And I'm on the right side. So go ahead. So what happened? 84, they ran it.
So they showed that about how they're trying to inspire the kids to be different. And so
someone asked them.
Somebody who was a staunch conservative stood up and said, so are we getting pros and cons on both sides of the issue? And it sparked, it was like supposed to be an hour back to school meeting. Turned into like a 4-hour raving debate. It was
good.
It was good.
Well, you know what the ratio of conservative to liberal professors? It's like 10 to 1.
Of
you can
course.
probably find a
the reason it's so big too is teachers aren't paid jack shit. I'm not talking professors. Right. They're not paid jack shit, so they do want socialism.
I think, a lot of kids, once they start earning money, they stop being socialists and they become capitalists.
No, of course everybody does.
Yeah.
Until you until you make money.
Right.
So I'll tell you, to come back to the pronoun thing, is that one of the state representatives from Arvada is either a cross-dresser or somebody who's in transition.
Here? Mm-hmm. So what is he, she, what is
So at the end of the thing, I'm going, God, what? So I just so what do you want me to call you for pronouns?
Oh, you asked.
I asked, you bet.
And what?
She goes, her, she.
So feminine pronouns.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just, but if you come across somebody that is clearly different, queer or whatever,
you're supposed to ask.
You're supposed to ask. Yeah.
See, I find it just crazy. I just find it insane. I almost would feel strange asking somebody. Wouldn't you feel weird if I came up to you, Tom, and said, "Well, I mean, are you a he or she?"
I would
it's
think
the
that
oddest
you're trying
question.
to bend over to be politically correct. I wouldn't give a shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't. I think the more important thing are the important issues. That's what I'm saying. I think we spend too much fucking time
on the minutia,
on shit that doesn't matter. Man, I will tell you though, do I sound like I vilify wealth? Do I think that's right when I talk about it?
No, I don't think you vilify wealth.
But people make an assumption.
No.
People make an assumption.
Do you think that I come off as vilifying wealth?
No. Not
Do you
all.
think I come off as right or left? Tell me, by the way, you're here for the... What do I come off as? Tell me.
I think you tiptoed the line right down the middle.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either, because that's fucking boring. That's the truth. That is boring. I'm not down the middle. I am far left on some things and far right on others. Most social issues, I tend to be
liberal.
More liberal because I don't give a shit.
But fiscally conservative.
But Tom,
very.
You're the definition of a libertarian.
Yeah.
And anti-government.
No, but you get him on colleges and shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he goes the other way.
College and
healthcare.
Really?
Seriously.
Okay.
But you're a libertarian like I am.
Right.
I don't know.
Most people you know are libertarians.
Okay.
Because most people you know are probably pretty loose liberally when it comes to social issues. They couldn't give a damn, right? And the conservative when it comes to government, the influence of church and state, the influence of economics.
Longest tunnel ever.
Most of the people I know are libertarians. It's just the way it is, but they don't vote that way.
You want to know the real deal on the presidency? Right here. This fuck polls, fuck everything. You know what it comes down to? The betting odds. And right now, Trump's about 60%, even throughout his impeachment right now. It hasn't fucking moved. You have to bet $135 to win 100. Anybody else, you bet 100, you win a shitload more. He is by far way out in the lead. In a football game, that's like, what would minus 135 be? 3 points? Maybe 2.5? Maybe 3.5.
But that being said, look at...
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. You know, I thought something. I'm being a pussy here. Okay? A wussy. I can say that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm being wussified. I'm something. Well, here's what I am. I am not being honest because people don't know where I stand. And I'm not in the middle. I think, for example, okay, I'm just going to say this, but not because it's a political show, but I don't give a damn if you construe it politically. In fact, I don't even care about that anymore. All right? Here's what I don't. Okay, but just please listen. This is what I love. I just want you to listen and don't get me wrong. And that is, I think Trump should be president because the country is doing well as far as every single basic in the world. I do not. Now listen, though. I don't like him. But I like him better than anyone else. I don't like him as a person, but who cares?
Personally.
I don't like him personally. I don't like the way he comes off. I just don't. But I think he should be president. And you know what? And the other people scare the hell out of me. But at the same time, what I don't like is how staunch conservatives can be. And everything is this. Here's what I get about a lot of conservative thought. Let them pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Okay, life isn't that easy. There are a lot of people that will never have opportunity just because of where they were born. And I'm not saying we purposely in America hate people or discriminate purposely. I don't think we purposely do, except for a few wackos, okay? But I'm talking in general, we don't purposely discriminate. But I do think there is built-in discrimination based on where you live and how you grew up. So, yeah, so when it comes to education, I do believe it or not, I think Trump should be president, and I don't think we should be taxed 90% because it's pretty damn logical. If you tax someone 90% if they make over X amount of dollars, they're never going to make over X amount of dollars. And what good is that going to do? Also, this notion about net worth being bad, if people have $30 billion, it's not sitting in a mattress. It is circulating in the economy. I'm not saying it does each and every child good or that it's wonderful. And not everyone who got rich, for God's sakes, cheated. Not everyone cheated. Sometimes you work your ass off, and it scares the hell out of you when they talk about taking it just because they're pissed off at you. That's it. But I think college should be free. Yes, I don't want to get into a discussion. I think it should be free. I don't think the only factor limiting kids to go to college and be doctors, lawyers, philosophers, artists should be money. That's all. I'm not asking for a discussion. I think there should be other limiting factors, like if you give them free college and they don't honor it and respect it and get good grades, kick them the hell out. But never let them use as an excuse where they grew up or the color of their skin. That's the only thing I'm saying. Education, the limiting factor should never be money. If it's intelligence, fine. If someone's not smart enough, then do something else. If you want to do this, do this. If you want to do that, do that. But see, too many times, the limiting factor is money. But as far as the economy goes, you know, this notion about wealth being evil, I don't understand it. I never understood it. There are some wealthy people that are evil. There are, but not everyone. And I get sick and tired of talking about 90% taxes. Ron, you want to talk about a financial problem with an annuity, and I have an expert on for you. So, Ron, tell me about this annuity. You just found out you had one, and isn't it like 30 years old or something?
It's at least 35 years old, and like I said, do you have
any idea what the amount is?
I have no idea, and in 2 months with 3 phone calls, I've not gotten any information from
But how did you even find out you had one?
A letter that was mailed to my old address. I was cleaning house, and I came across it and found it and opened it up instead of throwing it out because I'm downsizing. I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
And, a couple of years older than you.
Uh-huh.
I had to tell you.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so you found this annuity. And do you have a number on it, a policy number or something?
Yes, I do.
I don't want the number right now. Here's what I'm going to do, okay? Because I had a rant. I want to give Brian more time to speak. Brian Gray from APO Financial. So I want to ask Brian. He's an expert, APO Financial. They're financial advisors. How do you find old money?
You know, Gates and Buffett, fuck, man, they gave up half their billions to give to charity around the world.
I know they did. I know they
Fuck,
did.
they help more people than any fucking country has helped anybody.
Sam Walton is vilified.
You know what the thing is?
How many jobs does Bezos and Walton give to people?
Oh my God, billions.
So you can criticize Walmart all you want, but they give free health care to their employees.
Oh, very
The difference
cheap.
between
My kid
normal
works
people
here.
and the progressives, we want equal opportunity.
They pay for his
we
fucking
want
college,
equal
too.
opportunity. They want equal outcomes. That's the difference.
That's a big difference. That's a good way of putting it.
What's that?
The crazy left-wing progressives want equal outcomes.
Not
what most normal people, even Republicans, want is equal opportunity.
No, the scary part about socialism.
Yes, what do I have, bro?
Everybody, they want working 40 hours a week or whatever they're fucking.
But they want equal outcomes. They want everybody
You know,
to be
over
the
in
same.
Mike's going on. You know how you just love how some companies are structured? Simply Floors, Inc. is that kind of a company. Buddy and Karen Mitchell basically have a floor covering company, and they get all their floor coverings at basically the same price as big boxes, but they truly decided to make less profit to pass savings on to consumers and to get more volume and to help their installers make more money. They are in it to win it, but they're not in it to just take as much as they can. I love these people. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
I forget what I was going to say.
Mike was on. That's what you were going to say.
Oh, he wants to. So Tom wants to give out free college, free health care. Tom right here. Now, which is great, but it always comes down to one thing, and I mean this. How the fuck do we pay for it? That's what it always comes down to.
Here's the deal, okay? There's enough money right now in the system to pay for it.
The institutions don't do it. They keep all that fucking money.
But those annuities, they're talking about taxing billionaires. They're the biggest billionaires in the country.
Well, like Harvard's foundation.
Do you know what do you think what do they call it? It's not their annuity. Their endowment. What do you think? Last time I checked. What is it? Close to like 600 billion or something.
Yeah, Harvard for the next 100 years could take on all their people.
Well, no, they invest the money. They never have to pay. They never have to accept tuition ever again.
Correct.
Yeah, but why would you?
Harvard.
I don't think it's fair. You walk into something that someone owns and they have that,
first of
and
all,
you tell them, "Hey, we're going to fucking take it."
It's first of all, it's nonprofit, and all the money was donated.
Okay.
I mean,
how do I?
Who are you hurting? Who are you hurting?
Them, whoever them is.
Who's them? That's what I'm getting.
Harvard, whoever they are.
How are you hurting Harvard?
Who's in charge of that money?
How are you hurting Harvard?
Because you're not allowing a business to
I'm asking you, all I'm asking is how you are hurting them if they will function exactly the same as they do now. Exactly the same. Nothing would change if that endowment was used instead of sitting there and lining the pockets of money managers who make more money and expanding. They're expanding for the same few student body. It's not like they expand because they're letting more people in. It's what you're not hurting them.
But those endowments, those are only for those private institutions like a Stanford, Yale, Harvard. What about the state institutions?
No, I mean, I don't have the fucking plan, but I know that if we put our mind to it, there's a lot of fucking waste in our government.
Ultimately, it's going to come back and fucking hit our taxes.
It would be the best social. You know what? So does everything. The problem is you could probably do away with most bullshit that we're paying for now anyway.
What happened to drain the swamp over the last 3 years?
Well, now you're changing. The point is with education,
inefficiencies.
What right do you have to tell a private institution
I don't have a right.
they can't charge tuition?
I don't have a right, just like we don't have a right to tax 90%.
Right.
I'm not talking about having a right. I'm not talking about having the answers, but I'm telling you this. Equal opportunity equals equal outcome.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Jeez, I don't know about that.
That's right. Because
then every college player would be playing in the NFL.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about equal opportunity. You'll get the same outcome as they seize an opportunity with no excuses. There's no excuse. You've taken the excuses away.
I say
it doesn't
the same
mean
thing.
equal opportunity is equal outcome. If they're a fucking failure, they're going to be a failure. If they can be a doctor, they're going to be a doctor. Some people here that can be a doctor will never get to be a doctor.
Then how about the people that grow up? How about the people that grow up in a fucking shack with $3 that do become doctors?
Like me.
Oh, yeah, that's the story. Let's talk. 303-713-TALK. Artofgranite.com. Theartofgranite.com for your natural stone countertops. Whether it be marble or quartz or granite, they are direct stone importers at the Art of Granite. They only charge wholesale for all materials, and they only charge for fabrication and installation. Tear out and haul away is done free, and when you do the kitchen, they do the bathroom free. Theartofgranite.com. Open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. 303-386-5919. Because of their simple way of doing business, the wholesale prices on all materials, fabrication and installation, you can get a price on the phone. 303-386-5919.
Herpes works when you have a cold sore and works when you don't.
Okay, and you put them in a curriculum.
Most of them would never be able to go through Harvard.
To become chemical engineers. How many of those are going to make it? You're saying equal outcome.
Do you want a fucking answer? What I'm saying is the same number would make it as if you take a group of 10 rich kids or 10 poor kids. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is there are some that will never, ever get the opportunity. I'm not saying they're all going to be doctors. I said
see
they
what
have
he's
to
saying
seize
now.
the fucking opportunity.
But there is a part you're missing. The social part. In other words, those 10 rich kids were brought up completely different than those 10 poor kids.
But here's what I'm
saying.
saying.
So the ability might not be there
listen,
later in life.
Over time, if you knew money was not limiting you, and you knew life was different, they would bring up their kids differently. I think it would eventually.
I see what you're saying.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Brian, Gray APO Financial. Brian, what do you do when you have an old insurance policy or an annuity or an investment account or something? What do you do? What do you do when you don't know anything about it? Guys, if you could help me out here. Okay, Brian, what do you do?
Yep, absolutely. And I know I was listening in during the break there, and it sounds like there's an 800 phone number that was on the letter that was there, but generally if somebody doesn't know that they even have a policy number or not sure how to do it, there's a organization called the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, and it's NAIC.org. It's a great organization, but they have kind of a lost policy, if you need help finding it.
But isn't that only for insurance, Brian?
Well, it's actually for both life insurance and annuities. So it actually, because annuities are issued by life insurance companies, so they've kind of have a national association for all insurance commissioners for each state. So if somebody's not sure they have a policy or there's an old policy, there's a lot of companies that will merge and do those things. So you may have a original paperwork that shows you had an annuity from company A, but now it's company B because
what do people do? What do, like, Ron, didn't you actually call the company itself? Didn't you call the company?
Yes, I've called them 3 times.
And they say, hold on, and do they simply say there is no record? Is that how easy it is?
No, they have records, but it's confusing information, and they're working on getting that information. And it's been 2 months, and I have nothing right now.
What do you mean it's confusing information? That's the part I don't understand.
First phone call was abandoned property. Second was confusing. And third was the file had been filed, and they thought I'd passed away.
The money is somewhere, right, Brian? I mean, when a financial instrument is made, don't they have some accountability to, even if it went to the estate funds, which in this case it didn't? He said he looked at the state treasury department, the state treasury.
Could it have gone to a different state?
It shouldn't have. Whatever state it was issued in, it could have been in that. So did you live in another state, Ron?
I lived in Nevada 30 years ago.
No, but when the policy was taken out,
I don't know when it was taken out. It was Henderson Mine here in Colorado, AMAX, which has been bought by 3 different companies since.
Do you have any idea what the value would be at all? Do you recall anything at all?
It was 40 years ago when I went to work for them. I worked hard, played hard.
Brian, do they expire? What happens? What happens when something is just left?
Yeah, generally it was probably a deferred annuity where you put money into it at one point in time, and then you're electing to take guaranteed income at a later date. Most insurance contracts that are on annuity platforms like that generally make people start taking income around age 95, but generally there's probably just that pot of money, whatever was there, plus the growth that was in the contract is still going to be somewhere. And if it's not in
so Nevada, this group you talked about, yep. Brian, did you try this group? What is it actually called, Brian? I'm writing it down. The actual.
Absolutely, it's the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, and it's NAIC.org.
Did you try them, the National Association of Insurance Commissioners? Ron?
No, I didn't know who they were.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm clueless.
Okay, we're going to go to this.
Okay.
We're going to send you to this organization next. We'll take it one step at a time. APO Financial are great people, though. I'm serious when it comes to stuff like this. They're at 720-588-2000. Hold on. Let's give you this website off the air.
This guy said exactly what I thought on that Google commercial. At the end, he thought it was going to pop up and say, hey, your wife is dead. I really was like looking for the catch. Well, it wasn't evident, but it was evident she was dead the whole time. And Google was showing him different pictures of her and reminding him of different things when they were both alive and younger. But they didn't actually say she was dead. I was thinking either the wife would be at the end like they were doing something new, or she was dead. I hated the commercial. Although I watched it, so really it did its fucking job, didn't it?
Yeah, but it didn't make you want to do anything, right?
Well, and what do you do? Why does Google even advertise? Let's get right to the goddamn chase.
That's a good point.
Public relations.
There it is. PR.
That's all.
PR.
Suzanne really likes that Facebook thing where it has memories. You know, our kids are, what, 20 and 18 basically. It'll pop up shit when they were 4 or 5 years old.
How
pictures.
do they find it?
Well, shit she posted.
Oh, so you have to be on, if you were on Facebook,
Yep.
they find it.
And it'll
What if
say,
you had a different
this day
account?
in 2005.
But if you had a different account, it doesn't matter, right? They can't find you.
They can't find you.
She had a consistent account all that time.
All these years.
Fuck.
And it's really cool when it pops up. She'll show me shit like we totally forgot about. Unfortunately, I cannot do 3. I'm open after 4. Oh yeah, the 4 o'clock's fine. 4 is great. Call me then. Mark. Oops. How is it going at Panacea? You guys kicking ass, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going well.
Good. We get a lot. They
They
of people
really
asking.
said that they
I mean, a
feel
lot.
in their closing arguments. They said they felt they found enough evidence to
That
remove
line
him from
4 is your
office.
KRDO called. The guy owns a pizza place down there.
Yeah, I know the
Pizza
thing.
looks really good.
I know the deal.
Is it good?
The pizza.
I don't want to
looks
talk about
good.
the problem till on air, but it's a good fucking problem.
It is a good problem, so hopefully we can help him out too.
And get free pizza.
And get some, well,
If
he's
I
there in
only
the
ate
Springs,
pizza.
Oh.
So we'll have to go down there for his free pizza. It looks so good.
You know what I did one time? So I had Goodyear stores forever. I sold my last one fucking, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever it's been. So Goodyear would charge you X amount for a sign, okay? And, you know, we're talking a sign on the building. I found this guy that could build their fucking signs. You couldn't tell the difference, and it was fucking half price. Actually, less than half price. So I buy them from there. But because it's IP, it's intellectual property, you know, you're not supposed to do that. I can't go to you and you sell me a Gucci handbag.
Why couldn't you just put the little R on it?
It doesn't matter because it's their logo, their sign. I can't have someone duplicate it. But this guy didn't care. He was this Mexican guy down there that could build the best signs I've ever seen. So I started buying all my signs from him. But they were all fucking phony baloney. I mean, they weren't actual signs, actual Goodyear signs.
From the authorized manufacturer of Goodyear signs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, basically, I was creating their IP. You're supposed to buy it through them.
Right. Did you ever get caught?
Because they made a profit on it.
Right.
No, I never got caught on it. No one cared because I bought so many fucking tires from them. What are they going to do anyhow? But I never mentioned it, and just the way it worked, no one even ever questioned it. And the only reason I bring that up is that guy she was talking about has a problem with the sign.
So what would they have done if they would have done it? They could have closed you
They
down.
could have made, technically they could have closed me down, but they probably would have made me pull the sign and then buy one from them. But they wanted like 12 grand. I was buying them for 5 grand all day long.
What your insurance costs?
Oh my God.
That's, I guess, one of the benefits of when the main company have a franchise. They get forced to buy everything from
Through them. Yeah, just like McDonald's. You think you can go buy hamburgers somewhere else?
So they
Fuck
said they got
no.
enough to
Buns,
remove
cups, straws.
No, that's what they.
That's where
what
they
the-
make all
the
their
closing
dough.
argument
Corporate
said.
McDonald's.
They're not going to
Not
get
the franchise.
Plus the franchise.
Oh, the fees. A McDonald's, when I looked at one years ago, it was $1 million bucks, and this had to be over 15 years ago.
Plus you got to buy all the, so they only get the $1 million bucks because they got all the evergreen stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, correct, forever. But you pay a franchise fee every year.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Well, okay, 15, 20 years ago you did. I mean, people restructure all the time. I'll tell you a cheap one that I think would be a good franchise. In fact, I might bug Tom and maybe we open one up. Go halvesies on a fucking Supercuts, man. I've yet to find a Supercuts that's not making money.
Really?
Don't you?
And they're relatively cheap, and they fucking teach you the right way. In other words,
And
they don't teach us, but we'd hire a manager or steal a manager from
Right,
one
and so you get
just fucking run it.
So you get these women who are hairstylists to come in and they rent a chair?
No.
Okay.
They work hourly and then they get all their tips.
Oh, so do you pay them hourly?
You pay them hourly and they
Okay.
get their tips. You
Because-
pay them probably $10 an hour,
Deputy Dan,
and they're probably making $15 an hour in tips, so they're making
Adam
$25 an
Levine
hour, I would guess.
I'm sorry?
the Adam Levine thing.
Because the Adam Levine thing.
What is Adam Levine thing?
Oh, the woman, remember the guy whose wife is convinced that she's going to marry Adam Levine?
Oh my God.
And she sent him like $40,000 already?
I wonder what that guy's annuity is worth.
Dude, that motorcycle shop was not happy with me in any
ask
which
him how
way.
long he worked there.
I fucking strong-armed them. I said, you know what? You guys are going to do this. It was just there was nothing nice of how that went down.
He hasn't hit one all
They were
morning.
trying to say at the end, too,
Oh, for four.
we're doing this because we're a good company. We're not doing this because we did anything
but they
wrong.
so before we got involved, they weren't going to go to
They gave
Arizona.
her 2 options till the day I called, and those 2 were both sit on it. That's what Fonzie used to say.
Right.
I thought,
That sucks.
So they weren't even going to offer the $500 till you talked to them.
Dude, the only options they gave them is you get a title that says mileage discrepancy, or you go ahead and register it with 12,000 miles.
Stick around, or you want me to
Yes,
stick
I do. I want to talk more.
If you guys, I never
I'm
say
sorry,
this.
we just got.
If you guys give out a fucking discount code, you'll get some great orders, man. People ask all the time.
Don't you have a discount code built into what we've done for you?
The only
You
one
don't
I
wanna give out
remember
mine.
was
You please don't say it. You don't want to give out mine.
no. The only one I remembered you guys
Oh, no,
gave
no,
us to
not
give
that
out
one.
was for what do you call it? Black Friday. That's the only one I
What if we
remember.
put Martino and 20% off?
Can you do that right now?
Well,
Give me,
a couple
yeah.
minutes.
You let me know when it's ready.
Yeah,
Let me know.
actually, get it
Let's
set
do
up and tell us, because that's
Let's do it.
the
It'll
first
be
thing
great.
we'll get is calls going, it doesn't work.
We can get it done by 2. Anytime.
Tom is definitely in rant mode today. Have you noticed?
He's in a good, I like him in this mood. It's a good mood.
It's good radio.
He's a little on the spectrum today.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You should ask that guy still on. Ask him how long he worked there. If he only worked there for a couple of years, he ain't gonna be worth shit.
Well, here's what I was thinking. He might, we're talking 35 years. He might have liquidated this thing at one point because it was worth so little, doesn't even fucking know.
And is it actually new?
But been accrued interest over 40 years.
And if it's a pension, it might have just went away.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. The only show anywhere to get help, direct help for your problems. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I think that people mistake what I do. This woman's really pissed at me because I discussed some political issues. She says, you said you're not political. Okay, I guess here's what I mean when I say not political. First of all, we can't ignore that right now there are primaries going on. There's a presidential election going on. The economy is in everybody's mind.
And
all
an
kinds,
impeachment.
healthcare, all kinds of issues, right? So let me put it this way. And you know what? I've been doing this more than 40 years. And we've maintained a strong audience and strong results for our advertisers. And I think we provide a valuable service. But don't expect me to be a eunuch here. So here's the thing. When we're talking about, is that the right word? I think it is. But
that might be not politically correct using eunuch. I don't know.
But anyway, what I'm saying is this, okay? When I say the show's not political, we don't have an agenda. Honest to God, I'm not here to try to convince you of what's right and what's wrong, nor do I bend in my answers to any political persuasion, nor do I have sponsors that are of any particular persuasion, nor do I have any hate in my heart for any particular persuasion, and I never try to sneak in political ideology or beliefs or tell you why you're wrong if you believe something else. Okay? That's what I mean. That doesn't mean I don't have feelings and I don't think certain things are right and certain things are wrong. We discussed some major issues that come up all the time and that I don't like and things that I do like. And I'm not prepared to sit here and have political discussions about it back and forth with my colleagues. That wasn't the purpose. That's what I mean by not being political. When I said opportunity should be equal for all and all of that stuff, that's a belief I have. That doesn't mean you need to believe it. And a lot of people have strong arguments against it. And when I say I think the country's doing well right now, I know that there are a lot of emotional things that are not doing well. And there's a lot of hate and hostility. There really is. And then there's a lot of talk about diversity. So I just made general statements. You can call and you can express yourself if you want. I mean, let's face it. We have primaries going on today, and the message we're hearing is that from the Democrats. And I'm not telling you how I vote different things on different things, but the overall message that I thought was puzzling and a little disheartening for young people is that wealth is evil and bad. That is a message our young people are getting, and that somehow billionaires are the spawn of Satan. I mean, if you ask Bernie what's wrong with life, it's going to be billionaires. So I just want to get that out of the way. And then on the other hand, you have people, I said on the other side that they don't want to do anything for anyone, and they believe they pull them up by the bootstraps. You always get the story. What about this guy who grew up in a shoebox and he turned out to be the president of a major corporation? Let's face it. Either way, you have zealots on either side. But I'm making observations. You can make observations. I originally started out because I wanted to know what's important to people. Okay, I really do. I want to know what's important because what I've written down as major issues, I want to know what you think of them. I'm not telling you I think me personally, I think healthcare and education are two very, very serious topics, in my opinion. Healthcare and education. I think our educational system is out of control, and I don't think it does a great job. And I think that's just, okay. Climate change. I hear this from everyone. I'd like to know people's opinion. What do they want to see? I'm not asking where they stand. I'm not asking you where we stand. But anyway, climate change, education, equality, healthcare. Equality is another one you hear about a lot. Like people aren't equal. I wondered, I was puzzled literally a few days after Trump is elected, you have a march on Washington by women claiming to be downtrodden and plotted and I didn't know why. I didn't know what had happened that brought this out because he wasn't president for a very long time. And I think equality is important. I'd like to know, and when I ask, I'm not being tricky, I'd like to know, how are women being mistreated? Are they still, or is it equal? Equality is a big deal. I have a daughter. I want to see equality. Is that important for you? Is health important for you? Is education important to you? Is climate change important to you? It's almost, though, sometimes, and this is what I don't like, is when you have a view that's opposed to the popular view or the view, they don't just say, oh, well, is that how you feel? Let's look into it. They think you are, like I said, you're directly from hell. Anyone who speaks against climate change, they're automatically labeled as a wacko. The same with health care. The same with all of these issues. I think we have to have discussions without calling the other side morons or crazy. But the climate change thing, it is a religion. Trust me, it's a religion. And it's not that you deny it, but you have any differing opinion whatsoever, you are a wacko. That's the way people are made to feel. But I have read on both sides very convincing arguments about climate change. And I don't think anyone ever denied climate change in any of the articles I've written that say it actually doesn't happen. But what they're saying is that they believe mankind doesn't have a big contribution to it like we believe we do. There's somewhat of a contribution, but one volcano can wipe out our contribution and match it in 2 days. So I bring these things up. I want to know what's important to you. That's what I want to know. All right. I'm not asking you where you stand, but what's important. Where do you stand? Where do you stand as far as importance? Do you think climate change is important for your political candidate to address, or education or equality or health? Or maybe there are issues I haven't talked about here. Pete has a question about Ross wearing this Bernie shirt. Mark, did you bet Ross? What was the bet?
Yeah, we had a great bet. So we bet on the game. I won because I knew KC was going to win. By the way, I beat Deputy Dan and Doc as well.
If you lost, what did you have to do?
I would have to eat a bowl, $100, eat a bowl of steamed okra, which I'd probably puke in studio, and wear a Bernie shirt all day long.
He lost, which means he has to
eat a green pepper, which makes him puke,
and wear a Bernie shirt.
And wear a Bernie
Did
shirt.
you specifically have a question on that, Pete?
Keith. But no, I was
Keith.
just I was gonna ask if Mark is gonna post a picture of Ross and that on
Yeah,
their,
he is. Oh, you have no idea, man.
Yeah, he is.
And I hope Ross is listening. Not only am I going to do a live video when he's wearing it and eating that green pepper, I'm going to take some very good pictures when he's not looking around the building, and I'm going to do a Facebook campaign and send them out to other radio stations and Republicans.
Now, Andrew, you want to talk about a sign? Is that right, sir?
That's correct. I own a pizza shop.
You own a pizza shop. What kind of pizza do you make, Andrew?
It's I would compare it to New York style. We hand toss everything in shop. We do a 3-day rise, so we're really proud of our crust.
Does it come out really, the flat part of the pizza, does it come out really thin?
I wouldn't say really thin, but yeah, it's a thinner crust, and then you got the edge of the pizza.
Right, which is the thicker part of the crust.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good feedback. We've been open for about a month.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a serial entrepreneur.
What did you do before? What did you do before the pizza place?
Sorry.
What did you do before the pizza place?
I own a deli, Oliver's Deli, that's been in business for 37 years.
Wow.
And then I own a flower shop called Bloom Bar and Company, and that's been in business for about a year. So they're all located in the same shopping center.
Which is
I
where?
kinda run around in Colorado Springs off the Woodman exit and Rock Rimmon.
So tell me what's up with the pizza place.
So I went into business with this company called Illumination Signs and Graphics to do 2 signs for it's called 2 sets of channel letters. The total was $8,000. I gave him a down payment of $6,500, a deposit on 9/6 of 2019. And we are on February 2nd, and I have no signs. I just have temporary banners that I had to put up.
Andrew, what's the name of your pizza place?
Colorado Crust Pizza Company.
Okay. Now, what is the excuse this guy gives you for not having a sign ready?
So I have ridden him for the past 5 months. Recently, the most recent excuse is his wife has died, which I understand that's a hard time, but he had 5 months prior to this to do the signs. And
all right, we get the message. So basically, what about your money back?
He has terrible financial practices. He has spent the money already.
I wish they had a Contractors Trust Act in the sign business. So the name,
why wouldn't that be?
I don't know actually. I don't know.
Because they hang the sign on your building. Is it called Illumination?
I want to warn people about him. Is it Illumination, did you say?
Signs and Graphics. I can't even find a website on him. Do they have a website, dude?
No, he's kind of the reason I went with him is because the landlord contracted with him to do all the signs. There's about 12 businesses in the shopping center.
What about it? Did he walk on them too?
He got about 80% of the signs done. He needs to still do like the main sign for the shopping center where it lists all the businesses. He has about 30,000. He's walked on about 30 grand worth of work for the landlord.
Well, let's just try. Listen, let's just try. None of this matters right now because any meetings or anything you've done it hasn't been successful, right, Andrew? Bottom line is this guy probably will never come through. Now we got to figure out what you can do about it. I mean, it doesn't sound. Is he in business every single day? Does he go there every day? Is it opened?
Oh, he has terrible time management. He has sent me pictures of the Colorado Crust sign in progress, but he has I mean, it's about a quarter of the way done.
Hey, did you try calling Daff over there by any chance? Let's just try calling him.
Let's have Doc call him.
Okay. Do you want to call him? It's a typical thing.
The guy still might. It sounds like he might be getting somewhere though. If it's a quarter way done, it's
a quarter. Well, here's the deal though. If he spent the money, he's got a problem. I think I like your idea, Mark, of calling him a contractor. Doc, I would hint at him that he's violating the Contractors Trust Act. We can call him a contractor. I mean, why wouldn't he be a contractor?
I think we light him up, too, if the call doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation with Michael Brown.
Hey, be sure to tune in. Storefront signs.
Okay, got it.
Like at night you turn them on. No, they're usually made of aluminum and then...
Buyandbuild.net will get you wholesale or below wholesale. Buyandbuild.net. Now, they have a new location, 560 South Lipan, Buy and Build. That's just west of I-25 on Alameda, okay? Now you go south from Alameda 2 blocks to 560 South Lipan. They have cabinets, vanities, granite tile, hardwoods, plumbing, and electrical for kitchens and baths. New location, new name, Buy and Build, kitchen and bath, and they do installations as well. Buyandbuild.net, 303-295-6022.
I guess I'm still not getting your aluminum sign, but I'm looking up signs.
What?
I'm looking up what you said it's like a storefront sign that's got like what plastic.
Yeah, here I'll show you.
There, and then you got
this guy built them TNT signs.
You got lights in the back of them. Let me see here.
Like let me see. This guy built me some. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's my old mount. That's my old. That's one of my old signs. MP, Mountain Peak Computers.
Really?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Let me see here. Storefront banners, safety signs, traffic signs, bumper stickers, temporary signs, aluminum. Storefront signs. Just like how King Supers has a King Super sign. They're usually on a rail and then independent letters. Like that would be one. Here, Willow Street's one. Here, Boot Barn. This is perfect. So there's a rail behind it, and then each letter. And what they do is they bend the aluminum, and then they put the bulb set up inside. But that's like all signs. Starbucks, here's another one. So they're called a raceway. So you build an aluminum raceway, and then each letter.
And then you got each letter separate and put it on there.
Yeah, and these guys that build them, like the guy I was telling you about, I mean, there's guys that are really fucking good. All you got to do is have the right equipment to bend that aluminum, and then it's really just being good at your trade.
And then wiring it in.
Yeah, and then these are different. This one is, it's basically just the raceway, and then there's one bulb behind them usually, and then it's one plastic piece that can be illuminated.
So something like that, what does that cost?
Like I told you, like a big Goodyear one, a big one, where you got each letter's independent with the raceway. I was paying $5,000, but right now you'd pay. I mean, if you were doing normal shit, it'd be about $10 grand. Like that guy's, his pizza one, $8 grand. That's about normal. It's probably about the size of this, Polly's Pies.
No, he just has a banner up there and says. But each person contracted, even though little wall.
So this guy wants no money for these.
So generally, I've been in my computer stores. My Goodyears were all standalone. Well, with the exception of one that was in a King Supers parking lot. But just like an HOA.
How much time do I have?
They would tell you exactly.
Look.
They wouldn't provide the sign. Wouldn't make you
this
go
guy
buy it at
was
particular
out at the
prices.
Exactly. Fine.
What
Look,
colors it would have to be, how big it could
flew
be.
a helicopter? Yeah. Look, he was at the end of the runway and just happened to take all these.
He's got a great lens.
Look at that.
He's got a great
Look
lens.
at this one right here.
iPhone 11?
Look at this. You can
No,
see
that's
head
no
on.
iPhone
Look
11.
At that.
That would
You
be
flew a
funny if it
helicopter?
was.
Yeah. This is mine. This is so much fun. He got a picture. Look how close he got.
So the guy sits out at the airport, takes pictures of everything coming in.
But he doesn't
And
charge.
then try. You know how he gets your email? Your tail number.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And he didn't charge me.
No, I know that,
I
but
thought
if
you
you
were
want the
joking
good
about
ones, he
having a
would.
helicopter.
Isn't that cool? And then he has a video somewhere.
So is he
There's a
doing this
video.
just for fun, or is he looking this for?
Just for fun, he says, to unwind. Boy, he does good shit.
Oh, I thought he was trying to sell you.
No.
But
and look, he's got me coming in. Look, he's got the video. Isn't that cool? He's got a video. Oh, I'm coming in low.
So what do you think about that Kobe accident?
It's all weather. I mean, you can, you fly to a mountain.
But it's still, regardless of what though, it's pilot error, no matter what, right? If it's not, being serious here, if it's not mechanical failure, it doesn't matter if it's a weather, it's still pilot error for being up in that weather.
Me coming in on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Or Sunday.
We're just taking a fun ride?
He's nuts.
Poor choices.
It was really good.
Wow.
That's an expensive.
He's a great pilot. He landed in my front yard, picking me up at my house in Frankfurt.
Really?
Yep. Actually, he
Well,
picked my dad up. My dad
Yeah.
flew in. I said, "Hey, Tom, did you bring my dad up in the copter?" He fucking literally landed in my front yard, and then took off, and then came back in and landed in my
Is that
front
a
yard.
four-person copter?
That's crazy.
Isn't that cool? With a helicopter, you could do that. I mean,
Wow. I've seen you
you couldn't do that in a regular
Yeah.
neighborhood, but I mean, you could do it.
Took a lot of stills.
People got acreage, you could do it.
That is so
A
cool.
lot of stills.
I wonder if they're gonna ever make those quads. I mean, that would really be fun. You probably
He got
got
so
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know for a
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
you're going to. There is no doubt.
The Ospreys,
Look, you can see my fucking hand.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy.
A drone.
This is amazing.
They have them right now. If you're in
And he owns
Dubai,
you?
can take a drone taxi from rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah.
Single person taxi,
With no pilot.
all the
Tom
time.
Martino here, 303-713. Somebody wants to know about CBD, and we have discounts. Panacea Life Sciences, realcbdthatworks.com. Will that code be working right now? Jamie?
It went active 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. So if you put in Martino, you get 20% off. So listen, this is only for you guys listening. You put in Martino, 20% off. That's cool.
Is that just today, or we can give that out forever?
You can give that out through the month of February.
Okay, through the month of February. So Martino, 20% off. Now, if you're looking for what I use at realcbdthatworks.com, I use the fast chewable. Then I also use the daily, and I use the 75.
What a great Valentine's gift, too.
How would you do? Okay, let's go, Chris. So what did the guy say with the sign guy?
I left a message on his answer machine, told him that he could call us. I gave him our backline number till 2 o'clock and left him Martino after the show.
Did it sound like a regular voicemail or a business voicemail,
Kevin, you're
Doc?
up.
Business voicemail.
It is. Okay,
That's
so
good.
we left a message. Illumination. What is it called? Illumination signs?
Why don't we illuminate his phone real quick to show him we're serious? Because I don't think he's going to call back.
All right, Kevin, hold on. You are up right now, Kevin. What's his number? Let's give out the number. Yeah, this guy.
Just
listen,
leave a nice message.
Leave a message saying this. This is what basically we're going to slam Yelp and everywhere else about this guy if he does not come through. There's no excuse for taking $6,500 on September 6, 2019, and not having a sign done by now. What's his number? It's Illumination.
Illumination Signs and Graphics.
Yes.
719-231-3507. That's 719-231-3507.
And that's 231, right?
Correct.
All right. 719-231-3507. I'm going to put this on the big board. Follow it up tomorrow, Mark, as well. And don't forget, Panacea Life Sciences, 20% off. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Just put in Martino. And by the way, you wonder where to put that in. When you go to pay, it'll be right there. At first, it's confusing. You're wondering when that code will come up. It will come up. Okay, there's always a place to put a coupon code.
Have you ever tried to guess those? Not with Panacea, but when you go order something and it's got the place to put the code, I always try radio or savings or whatever. Do you ever do that?
I've never done that, but it sounds cool. Kevin, what's going on?
Good morning, Tom.
What's happening with the real estate guy?
Okay,
or gal?
My question is, can you have a real estate agent write an offer and then the seller counter, and if we refuse the offer or let it expire, can we go back then, because we're not having a good rapport with the agent, our buyer's agent, can we go back then and a few days later write another offer with another agent?
Okay,
Brand new agent.
a lot depends on this. Do you have a contract with the first guy, a contract that for a certain amount of time?
No.
Okay. I would say without a contract, with a contract and it expires, many of the contracts say anything he's shown you still is in his bailiwick, even if if it expires. Without a contract, it's going to be hairy. Either way, okay? You can technically do it, and he can come after you and say, look, I'm the one that showed you this. It can get really hairy.
Yeah, but without an agreement, why would the realtor have any, and I mean any way of justifying?
Are you leaning toward I know what you're saying. You're leaning toward it would be construed for the consumer. I am saying that I could see it going either way, where a judge would say, you know what, you didn't have him in writing, you didn't have this, or I can hear him saying, look, guys, you got to keep it down.
I wonder
please.
if Frank Duran ever ran into this. I mean, he'd let you out of the contract.
Yeah, Frank Duran, the real estate man, would let you out. Any good real estate guy, if he knows you're not happy with him, is not going to hold you to it. But then again, it really isn't fair, Kevin, that is he the one that found this property?
Here's the thing. All right,
Kevin, would you tell me just between you, did he find it? Because if he did,
no.
Okay, found it and said.
He did not find it. The property is in Arizona, and we flew down to Arizona, spent a few hours with this agent. She showed us a handful of homes, and at the end of the day, we said we'd like to see this house again. And she said absolutely
But
not.
That's the home she found. She found the home.
No. She didn't find it. I found it. I told her I wanted to. I gave her a list of homes that I found on Zillow.
I get it. She arranged for the showing, though.
She did arrange for the initial showing.
Here's what I think. I think the other party will not want to get involved with you, if that's the case.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. She refused to show it to us a second time, and we were only there for like 48 hours. So I went and knocked on the man's door, and I said, we're the people who were just here to look at your house. Would you mind talking to us? And him and I have been in constant contact, and him and I worked out the negotiation. We had the offer. It was already a done deal. All the terms and everything were agreed upon before I ever had her present it. She does not to this minute know that we have been in contact with the owner.
No. But the first offer you submitted, had you talked to the owner beforehand?
Yes, I have. We just wrote the offer yesterday.
No, you said the one that was rejected.
He is countering, but he hasn't signed it
yet. The very, very, very first offer you made, who wrote that up?
My agent wrote it yesterday. That's the initial offer.
Oh, I didn't realize the very first one was yesterday. So,
it was yesterday. And
then he countered, right?
He is in the process of countering now.
Then I heard a different story in the beginning. I heard that he wrote.
You just weren't thinking like me. It was yesterday.
It was just yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't even. He has till 6 o'clock today to respond.
I say he doesn't have to use that woman.
I think and you're going to find it's not so cut and dry.
But here's the good part too. If you can get away with it, which I don't know Arizona, but I think he can. It's going to help the buyer or the seller as well, because he's not going to have to pay another agent if this guy does it.
But did the seller sell it on his own, or does he have a broker?
He has a listing agent.
Then the listing agent, listen, that listing agent is the one who I'll bet you that listing agent will not do it. That listing agent will not work directly with you.
I wonder if Arizona's like California, where you have to have
you want a new agent
involved.
That makes it even weirder. That makes it even weirder. Look, here's the bottom line. I'm not trying to answer whether it is technically legal or not. I am saying that my gut is, if that person, no matter what the logistics were, if that person was involved in showing you the house the first time, involved in any way, and then wrote up an offer, and now you're waiting for them to counter, what if he accepts that offer? Then what would you do?
Well, he's not accepting the offer. He is countering. And I know that because I'm in contact with him.
All right, so hold on. So what if he counters? Your plan is to not respond to the counter?
My plan is, I'm asking you, should I let it expire or should I refuse it?
Well, okay, I don't know.
Just refuse it.
And if you refuse it, Then you're saying, then I go back and write a brand new one, right?
With a new agent.
Right.
It'll be the same offer.
Okay, that even makes it worse. Here's what I'm saying. That I don't care where you are, what you do, you're going to have trouble. That agent will sue you, or he'll take the other listing agent before the board somehow, some way, that you are not going to have a smooth ride. And I don't think it's as cut and dry as Mark says. I do not think it is.
No, I'm not saying it's cut and dry. I'm saying I think he can get away with it, is all I'm saying.
All right. You don't think
Can I give you an analogy?
What do you mean by go ahead, give an analogy.
If I go to a car dealer and I sit down with a salesman and I make a deal for a car and then it just doesn't happen, okay? And I go home and the next day I come back and make the same offer with another salesman because either he's not there or whatever, and then the dealership takes that offer. How does that work with the original
If the dealer, I'll tell you, if the dealer knows you already worked with a salesperson, they will either split the commission or work with the original guy. They will never ace him out unless the original guy pissed you off and you left. But if you worked on a deal, here's a real analogy. You worked on a deal, he submitted it, and it was countered. Then you say, never mind, you go home, and then you come back with a new salesperson and accept the counter deal after you walked away from it. Listen, you can paint this any way you want. The reality is, I've been in situations like this, and it's not going to go easily. It's not. I'm going to check in and see what Frank Duran. Now I know Frank Duran, what he's going to say based on his ethics. I'm not asking about that. I'm asking what he thinks is going to happen. But I think the listing guy, you're going to have a problem in a number of areas. First of all, I don't think that seller's real estate person will do it.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
This is...
It's a bad analogy because the car guys are both employees of the dealership.
Yeah, it's not a good analogy.
Please help our sign caller get his sign. Call Illumination Signs at 7, and ask and leave a message. I would put in leave a message and leave a nice message asking him to finish.
But I need to put who the sign guy's name is. Do we want to put the sign guy's name?
Yeah. I do a full banner too. In other words, replace the video with the entire thing, a full blown screen. Instead of doing a banner at the top, I do a full.
We're going to make this one.
And I'll be curious.
Tell Frank. And that is by the way, that's not his website. We never use that website, so it just confuses things. It's not a big deal. I'm just letting you know. You don't recall Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, that I only say every time? Listen, it's not a big deal. Here's what I want you to tell Frank. Okay. What is it? John Fuller is the guy to talk to if you've been hurt in an auto accident, a traffic accident, you're a pedestrian, you're on a bicycle. John Fuller will put your mind at ease. Why? Because he'll answer you honestly. He will let you know what he truly believes your case is worth. He'll give you free legal advice on what to do and what not to do. No matter what, it's a benefit to talk to him. He is the person you can trust, and you'll know that right up front when you talk to him. And don't ever be fooled by people who promise results. John Fuller promises honest evaluation of your case. PersonalInjuryCO.com, 303-597-4500.
But I guess my question is who do I put? Do I say leave and leave a night?
And leave a message for the owner of.
We got to let Frank know that.
I got that, but
please let him know. We're going to work his spot into this. So whatever he wants to talk about, I'm going to work it in.
Andrew, what's his last name?
The pizza sign. What's the name of that business?
Hold on. GetFoundFast.com. That'll be the place you call if you want to GetFoundFast.com. You know, here's what I say. There is way more to life than having a website. And so many people lie to you when they say they're going to help you promote that website. I have found so many charlatans in this field. You can trust GetFoundFast.com. We use them here at the Troubleshooter Network with Referralist.com. They are on Referralist.com. You will get found fast with GetFoundFast.com.
Like maybe you're a hoarder or you got some new kids. Those things are kind of the same, really, right?
So you think if Trump wins the election, if he wins, that they're going to try and impeach him in his second term?
Oh, of course.
Unless they get the House.
I think they backfired so bad on this deal, they're going to lose the House.
I haven't been following that much. Was it really a show? A circus?
There was no goddamn crime. They impeached him with no crime, Tom. I swear to God. It is insane.
There were no Republicans that voted for the impeachment.
Well, and there was some Democrats that voted with the Republicans.
Really?
Yeah. There was no crime.
But what about he said, hey, look into this or we withhold aid?
They're damn right they should look into it because a fucking
guy, didn't say it,
he was
but
working for the most corrupt, what is it, oil company?
But did he say that if you don't do this, we will withhold aid?
No, there was no.
You got to fire this DA that was looking into it, or you're not going to get the $1 billion.
No, you're talking Biden. That's what Biden did. He's talking Trump.
Oh. Trump says look into it.
He's talking the phone call. He said
but
no.
Trump didn't.
He never said we're going to withhold aid if you don't look into this.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Never said it.
Yes.
Then where are they getting the quid pro quo? Where are they getting it from?
Well, there wasn't. First of all, because they got the aid, there can't be a quid pro quo, right?
Right.
There can't be. So that's what.
But was there? Because they can say he did look into it.
No, if you look at the total transcript, there's no way he did anything fucking illegal. There's no way.
And even if he did,
it's not illegal.
It wasn't impeachable.
It's not illegal.
Right.
This is it's called
I know.
Rotation.
I know.
It's rotation.
I know.
It just happens to be.
CBD Distillery does same stuff with iHeart. So.
Who is it?
And CBD Labs. There's like 4 different CBD.
They run on national. Yeah, it's funny, the national spots. They always seem, who do we have? Larson Tax was in the other day. And of course, right as he's in here, well, who's the other big one? Omni or whoever was running. Sometimes I always wonder if they know, but there's no way they could ever know.
Did you notice there were a couple local commercials during the Super Bowl?
No. That's called local avails.
I didn't notice any.
They must be much less cheap. A lot cheaper.
I didn't see one though. Who was
they're
it?
cheaper than the $5 million, but they're local. It's called local.
Did you
avail.
see any local?
I
didn't see one local.
There were a couple local ones.
How did you watch it?
What do you mean? On Fox.
Oh, over the air though.
Yeah.
How'd you watch it?
Fox.
How'd you
over
watch
the
it?
air?
Yeah.
Not cable, just over the air, literally air antenna. That's
no,
what I'm asking.
Cable.
Oh, no.
On Comcast.
Cable.
Comcast might have a little inventory.
Local.
Yeah.
How I watched it on Hulu, there was all national.
Okay. Because there was like 3. There was one spot with a.
Actually, you know where I watched the majority of it? I watched half on Hulu and half on Fox Sports app. Okay. That Fox Sports app's pretty fucking slick.
So you don't have a cable or satellite service?
Nope, I am a cord cutter, but I get all the locals on Hulu.
Right.
I get HBO, Showtime. I get Stars. I get all the locals. Yeah, everything through Hulu.
And how much does it cost you?
I got and the DVR is badass. I got 2,000-hour DVR. I can record literally every channel basically at the same time.
And how much is Hulu? How much does it cost
I got
you
a total of about $89 a month.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Don't forget, realcbdthatworks.com. That's Panacea Life. Jamie's here, and if you have any questions on CBD, call us. And here's the bottom line. They have a promo code. If you put in Martino, you get 20% off. Just Martino, 20% off. And I don't know if it matters if it's upper or lowercase. I don't know if that matters, does it? I mean...
No.
Okay.
And if people have any problems, just give us a ring, and we'll get it set.
Just mention Martino, 20% off. Okay, realcbdthatworks.com. That's the one we use. They have their normal Panacea Life. Here's what I want to ask, and we're getting some emails on it. Has it ever helped with blood pressure? Does it have any, since it helps with calming anxiety, has it had any kind of, have you had any anecdotal or feedback on blood pressure?
Mostly because of the calming effects, not necessarily due to the mechanisms that we see with blood pressure.
All right. What about weight loss? Anything whatsoever?
Not really, Tom.
Okay.
I mean, there are other cannabinoids we're working on
Yes.
That will actually decrease appetite and lead to weight loss. But we're probably about 6 months to a year out.
And now I'm not reading all these emails. I'm just going through the bullet points. I had one on eyesight.
Eyesight?
Yeah,
like
eye
glaucoma,
disease, anything
cataract?
like that, or anything with eyes. I don't think anything works on cataracts if you have a cataract. But I'm talking about.
Glaucoma.
They just said the eye health is what they asked.
So, actually, it's one place with respect to glaucoma, intraocular pressure, that originally that's what people thought this was going to work on, and it doesn't really do a great job. But there are items in terms of visual acuity that we're working with a sports researcher to actually take a look at whether it actually helps you focus and be able to see things a little bit better.
That would be cool. All right, so what do you think? Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I'm going to talk to Frankie here and just ask him his advice. Frank, if you were presented an offer, you took it to your client, and he's countering, and then the client doesn't answer it, he lets it expire, then comes back with another agent, what would your thoughts be if he never had a written agreement with the original guy? What would your thoughts be if it actually happened to you?
Hey, Tom, good afternoon. I would be concerned, to be quite honest. I'd be concerned because we don't know what the situation was.
Would you accept the deal if this exact situation happened? You just got an offer. You take it to your guy. Your seller counters. The buyer does not answer it, and it expires. In a few days, you get a new offer precisely the same exact as the counter, and there's a new agent. Would you even ask the question or just take the offer and submit it? If it really happened.
Yeah, I would present the offer to my seller to perform my job, but I would also ask the question. I would ask why they're writing with a new broker. And
if he said to you, well, I didn't like the guy and I didn't have a written agreement, so I found someone else, what would you do? I know this is a hard question, Frank, but
I know, Frank, and Frank, tell me if you're wrong, but you would do what you're supposed to do and work for your guy, the seller.
I certainly would. I would certainly present the offer because I'm to present all offers, but I would also let my seller know something seems a little off here, and let him know that there was another agent. I mean, that'd be pretty obvious.
Yeah. So you would go through with the logistics of it on your end because you're not going to be the arbiter. You wouldn't say, "Well, we got to talk to the other guy." You wouldn't say anything like that.
No, I would present the offer just to my seller, but I would also tell him that this seems a little fishy.
And you know the other guy would make noise. But you would stay out of it. You would stay out of it, technically.
I would have to just do my job and present it to my seller.
Hell yeah. I mean, Frank's worked for me twice, worked for you tons of times. Man, wouldn't you be upset if for whatever reason you didn't like it? What does that have to do with anybody else?
I know he would submit the offer. Yeah. But I think, I personally, I might be wrong, but I personally think you would tell your seller, we could have a lot of trouble with this one.
Oh, Tom, I would make him very aware of this because I would tell him one of the goals is to have an event-free closing. You don't want to have problems afterwards. I would make him very aware of this.
Frank, but if there was no contract like this particular guy said between him and the first rep he hired, I mean, what could happen? Let's pretend it's here in Colorado.
I'll tell you what could happen. I'll tell you, because this has happened, literally happened, and I was involved. And he went to the board. And he filed a lawsuit, and he was paid commission.
No, but I'm saying, by who?
Mark, it gets into muddy waters. You can get into
because the fact that he had the guy submit a contract was here's what was asked. I was at the actual hearing. They're saying, well, you didn't have a written contract. Does that mean he didn't represent you? Yes, he did. Well, then he submitted the offer for you. You're not denying that. No. Then when you got the counter, why didn't you accept it?
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's what they asked him.
But Tom, what I'm saying, it sounds like in that scenario, who ended up paying that guy was the actual buyer. Of course, the seller of the house still had no effect.
No, they took the commission. And they said to the guy that took it, they censured him for doing it. They censured him, and they literally took it away.
All I'm saying, the seller of the house in the scenario you're talking about, the seller, not the seller's agent.
It did not cost him. It did not cost him another dime.
Okay.
But the commission was diverted, and the guy that did it, knowing, first of all, we're assuming this guy's going to be able to get another broker. And if any broker got wind, Frank, if you got wind that someone submitted an offer and there was a counter and that he wanted you to submit the exact same counter, what would you do?
I'll tell you what I would do.
You wouldn't take it.
No, I would. Yeah, but I would also make my legal team aware of this. What's going on with Remax? I would make them very aware of this, and let them tell us, hey, this is what we suggest or what. But I would certainly bring that to their attention.
Would you, if I came to you and said, Frank, here is a contract.
Yeah.
It's a counter. I want to get, or it's an offer. It's exactly the same as he countered with last week, but I wanted it to expire to get rid of that real estate broker. I am saying, in my mind, I don't think you would take it. Or you're saying you would take it.
Oh, Tom, no. Here's the deal. If I thought this was fishy or underhanded dealings, I would let my seller know about it, sure. But
I'm asking if you would take it, Frank. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm running into a problem. Hold on a sec.
Now, impact traffic.
Even though the flakes are flying and it's a bit icy across town, the drive on the highway's in fairly decent shape.
He fucking won't take anything with a ripple, and I don't care what he says. He wouldn't let them know.
Here's the part that I think is weird, though. If I just fly out to Arizona to look at a few houses.
I'm not done with them.
Never signed a contract with someone, and they just show me a few houses. I don't even know why I'm tied to them at all. I don't care if they...
It's not on black and white, but I swear to God, when it comes to representation, fucking people get nuts. I have seen these get so ridiculous because I was so fucking pissed.
And then the people in Arizona would have to sue them here.
Just one real estate guy.
Moving there.
And it's especially... if it was a new house altogether... Okay.
When you bundle home and auto, you can save. So call your local
leave it up for
today. Are you in good hands?
Yeah, during the
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. The name says it all. It is a retro insulation that you do on your home after it's built. Of course, it's for people with older homes or homes that don't have good insulation, and they want to make it better. So here's the message. You want to make your home more energy efficient, up to 50% in some cases, 80% more quiet. Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. You know what this stuff does? It fills every nook and cranny. It is a space-age foam. They do it from outside the home. It goes in like a thick shaving cream and fills every nook and cranny. It doesn't off-gas. It's environmentally friendly. It never gets hard. It's not an epoxy. It is not one of these spray-on things. It's a cool, really good insulation. When you have the house done, they give you the attic portion right now for 20% off. Foamyourwalls.com. You'll be a believer when you see the video. Foamyourwalls.com. 720-676-6333.
Are you nearing retirement or have you retired in the last year or two? Moving your 401k from your previous employer can lower your fees.
I was doing this,
access to the best
so this whole thing, why do you want to change brokers? You didn't like the guy?
Here's the thing. It's the same house and the same fucking offer. If it was a different house or something...
He just didn't like that broker?
Yeah, he said he didn't like it.
Well, it's not the same offer, though.
It's the same exact...
No. He submitted an offer, right?
And the counter offer is the same as the counter.
But the counter offer hasn't even come yet.
The counter offer will come, and he's going to let it expire.
I'm just saying, if they even change the offer by $1, does that change anything? You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm telling you that any board of realtors will not allow it to go. They're not. On that same house. I know no matter what you say.
My only point is, I don't think it affects the buyer, and I don't think it affects the seller.
No, but it affects
you let the real estate guys deal with their own shit.
But he will, and he'll win. I'm telling you, under this scenario, at least it did in our case, if you look at court precedent, you will find that representation does not have to be in writing.
Okay. But here's the other thing, though. It's going to bring the people in there to court, right?
Actually, representation.
The buyer and seller are going to come into court, or the...
Hey, Tom,
It will be the messiest fucking thing you
Or
ever
If you
done.
sign a contract
I don't
with
think
that,
they'd
with
have
that
to go
real
to
estate
court.
guy, that you represent him for a period of time.
I don't think
No.
the buyer
No contract. That
or
was the whole
seller
point. There
have
was no
anything
contract.
to do with it.
Right. So what,
Did the buyer or seller in the one that you were there?
Not the
did
seller, it's the buyer.
Either of them. Did the buyer or seller have any ramifications, or it was all the realtors?
Did he have to come to the court?
No, his broker did.
right. So what Mark is saying is the
It
two
didn't
two
cost him
people that
anything.
are
They're
in
not
the
costing. Did
transaction.
he have to just go in?
Right.
It's
But
done.
here's what I think
between
would
the-
have happened.
between the
I don't
agents.
care about the realtors
Right.
in that scenario. Is all I'm
And it was
saying.
tortious. The other guy got tortious interference.
Which is what?
The broker, meaning that it was he was interfering with a contractual.
So,
hand slap.
so at
Yeah,
what
that's
point?
all.
At what point does the clock start over?
I don't know. Well, here's the deal. Without an agreement, that's the crazy part, is that it didn't start over. He could, in fact, the guy at the board, not the judge, the board said if it was a different house and a different showing, it would have been totally different, but it was the same exact house. And it was the same exact offer. It was. You would have thought that I was involved in this with Chuck. You would have thought, man.
I've told Rapahoe Hyundai I didn't like one of the sales guys there. He did everything, and I forget.
Do you know why?
Whatever he did, and I fucking basically said I won't buy it from you.
And that's fine. They can say that.
They work it out internally, though.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't when the two guys are from different real estate places, and he sees that you just bought that fucking house, and he comes to you and says, you better pay me. Now, I imagine there are cases where he breached somehow or didn't do something, but it was the same house. And you know why I did it? It was simple. I wanted to save money. You should have used me. I wouldn't have charged you this or that's why. And it goes one step further.
For the panacea deal.
Hey,
This other guy says 25%, please.
So Tom, once somebody shows you a
Sign
house,
up for
are you
subscription,
tied
you get that
forever?
other
No, you're not. You're not tied.
I'm asking. I'm not.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
so if
I
he-
just know that.
So if he
right
did
now,
a
this guy's
subscription
talking about
and
going
applied
right
that
back.
code, would that code continue?
the
Let me
Latino
just tell you
code
something.
will be disabled in February.
It's-
right.
Got it.
But,
I
But
think
today-
that if you don't have a guy in writing, you can't do shit. But this guy did because it was too much the same.
But once
doesn't
again,
have-
it didn't
He
affect
wouldn't have had to
the
use
real
him for other
parties.
houses. He didn't have to use him for other houses. But here's the thing: if you take an offer like that, you could be involved in tortious interference.
So you doing
You know,
in
this
honor
whole
of Black
Biden
History
kid
Month?
thing is fucking absurd,
When
man.
is it?
The more I think about
February
it,
is
he
Black
gets
History
kicked
Month.
out of the fucking military,
Yeah.
then gets a
What? No,
fucking
February.
$1 million a year job, or
Who
whatever
did
the
not?
fuck
This
it
sounds
is.
like why did he get kicked out of the military?
Drugs.
Right.
Martin Luther King Day.
And
I
he
know.
got added to the military.
And then they put him on the board of some fucking Ukraine thing. If there's anything crooked in this whole thing, it's the fucking Bidens.
It took,
Tom Martini here. Okay, it's a very simple situation. A guy is selling a house. Okay, the consumer, the buyer, puts an offer in with his real estate guy with no written agreement. So let's call the real estate guy John. John puts in the offer with the seller and the seller's agent. They're countering. The consumer's plan is to let it expire. He's not going to act on the counter. Then he's going to go back there as soon as it expires, and he's going to submit a brand new offer with another real estate guy, and it's going to be the same exact offer as the counter because he knows the guy will accept it, but he'll get rid of the agent. Now, listen, I agree that technically there is no written agreement at all. And he can probably do it. It's a free country. But I think, here's what I'm saying, it's going to be messy. Because I think this John guy, knowing he showed him the same house, made the initial offer, and this guy purposely waited for the counter to expire in order to hire another guy. I think he would make the argument that he should have commission or at least be paid something, and I think it would be messy. We don't know that. For all we know, that guy could just walk away thinking, well, I didn't make him happy. I mean, I don't think it's a guarantee there's going to be a lawsuit or a complaint, but I also made the comment that I think that any real estate person getting involved would have a question. Like the guy accepting the offer or the guy agreeing to write up a new offer. If he agrees to write up a new offer, is he getting involved in tortious interference? And then what about the buyer side? I think they're the safest. They're not really doing anything wrong. They're just accepting offers. They don't have to get involved in somebody else's contract. We're going to talk about this coming up. We're just running out of time. Plus, I promise we'll take all of your calls.
Rates continue to drop. Have you taken?
Nothing to do with it?
Yeah, the seller. I'm sorry.
Well, you know. So here's the other thing: is he doing it to this other broker? Because the other broker says, "Hey, I'll give you 1% back."
Look, I did it because I was getting no commission.
Oh, okay.
What difference does it make why he does it? The structure is exactly the same. You're trying to save money or you're going with somebody else. I'll bet you that this guy has a deal. I'll bet you this guy said, I went to buy it and this other broker said, I'll give you a better deal.
This person on this is just kind of...
Well, what he said, though, was the woman wouldn't, the woman wouldn't take him back to see the house again. They flew in, they saw it one time, and they saw the other 12. Then before they left to come back here, they wanted to see it one more time, and the woman said, no, I can't make it over there, I can't go. So then he just went and knocked on the door and met the owner. So honestly, that's a hell of a good fucking argument. We were only out there 2 days, and the woman wouldn't let me go.
Then why do you have the broker submit the offer? Why did he call back that broker and say submit the offer?
I don't know.
He didn't even have to.
No, you're right. I know.
Of your place.
I don't think it affects the buyer or seller, though.
It doesn't affect the buyer. The seller could be in trouble.
I don't think so. He hired, maybe so, but he just point to his realtor. Go, what the fuck am I doing? It's my realtor over here. I didn't buy it. I didn't sell it.
It wouldn't go smoothly unless this guy just walks away.
Jeez, I'd almost like to see that in court.
I know. Well, look it up.
A lot of this shit.
There's got to be records. This has happened more.
No, but everyone's a little different, though.
Don't you think it's pretty boring in court after that time you were in there?
Well, yeah, until the judge basically fucking threatened to throw me in jail.
Do you know what? When I've gone to court, it's never been boring.
Really?
Never.
Which one are you talking about?
We had fireworks all the time.
Lost on her roof.
The roof one? Fuck, man.
That's because she represented
No,
herself.
I understand, but wasn't it boring sitting in there?
Yeah.
It wasn't, actually, it wasn't horrible. I enjoyed watching and learning the process.
Man, we've had...
And there was nothing boring when he threatened to throw me in fucking jail. I assure you. I'm texting Tom going, you're going to be bailing me out tonight, bro.
He says, yeah, right.
Where are you?
What was he going to throw you in jail for? What was he going to throw you in jail for?
I don't want to talk about it on air.
What's really weird...
I don't want to talk about it on air.
Mark, he said.
You really didn't do anything wrong. That's what's really weird.
If you could have seen the look in these two attorneys' eyes when they're talking to the judge and they play me live talking to you before the jury walked back in. I know I didn't, but, well, you saw what they tried to get me on.
Yeah, but it was like, who cares? You can
Dude, they did a full-blown investigation into me, and I shit you not. Yeah, the state of fucking Colorado.
Get a letter.
Now, when you go to small claims court, you cannot have an attorney. Is that the rules?
If you're not here, like if you own a company like I don't know, Verizon.
Yeah.
If you own a company like Verizon, and someone sues you in small claims court, you can petition the court to allow an attorney in, and the court will almost all the time allow it in that circumstance.
Right.
But the same rules go. Just because it's an attorney doesn't mean anything else changes.
Right. So this Kevin guy apparently says, Suzanne, tell Tom to ask me why we want to use a new agent.
Say that again?
Well, right here.
Oh, so in other words, they think the agent did something wrong?
To use a new agent. Oh, was he the guy that called in?
Apparently.
Yeah. Ask Tom if he would like to.
Have a three-way call with the seller.
Yeah, Kevin is the caller.
Yeah, no. I just like, we're done. No offense, Kevin, but fuck, man. If we talk about this anymore, I'm going to fucking hang myself.
The drill's coming on.
Honest to God, I wouldn't worry about it, Kevin. That's just my opinion. It's not a legal opinion whatsoever. Without a contract, I don't even know it would be an issue. And if it was an issue, I think it would have to do with purely the realtors going after each other. Nothing to do with you, nothing to do with the seller.
Is he the so he is the buyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to change because
He wants to take agents.
Did you read this one? This fucking Biden gets. Remember Savannah Guthrie? She's a fucking. She's like CNBC or ABC or CBS.
Okay.
I think to the Today Show or something. Well, she just asked him about Hunter. She basically goes, "Hey, isn't it ironic that you guys are saying it has to do with this, but Hunter got this job after he got kicked out of the military for $1 million a year, and a lot of people think that's a little shady." I'm paraphrasing, and he fucking scolds her. Oh, how dare you ask that? He won't even fucking answer questions.
His brother, his sister, he's got like 4 or 5 family members that all become millionaires because of this. Because of different things.
I should have went into politics. You'd make more money in politics.
You could also go to jail.
They never go to jail.
Why didn't Hillary go to jail then? It's pretty cut and dry on the fucking emails. You can't have a server at your house, and she did. It's about as fucking cut and dry as it gets. And they found out that people accessed them. The one guy that's been over in Russia forever had WikiLeaks, had all that shit.
Think about it, you've got to have the connections. She had the connections.
She has all the connections.
That's what I'm saying, just a regular guy getting in there.
What was the one? If Trump's kid, if Donald Jr. just got a job right now, listen to this, got a job for $1 million a fucking year working for any oil company, doing something that he's never done before, then the fucking left would light him up. But you know what? Because it's Donald Trump, you fucking pussies, you fucking go after him. And they're going to pay at the ballot. Yeah, I already know he's going to win, but if they flip the fucking House, these assholes won't know what to do. Every judge in this goddamn country will be conservative, so you better fucking watch
Well,
it.
you know what might happen is they might impeach freaking Schiff.
No, because he didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, he did. He lied to the House of Representatives.
Well, I hope they do.
God, I'd love to see that.
If
But
they
you know
could,
what?
if they could prove that he knew the whistleblower and they were in the cahoots and stuff.
It looks so bad going after your... It just looks bad, man. I even think that would look bad.
Look bad going after your own people.
Going after Shift.
I don't know.
I just say, honestly, I'd love to see the guy, his balls cut off, but I fucking think it looks bad.
They put him on.
Who's Shift, guys? Who's Shift, guys?
And Shift is political suicide.
What I thought
Putting on the case to impeach Trump.
Yep, they would
putting him on the case for the...
He's the one that talks. And, well, first of all, when it was in the House and they actually impeached him, he was in charge. Now that it's in front of the Senate, he's kind of like the opposing, or he's the prosecutor. He's acting
kind of like the
role.
one, the lady in California.
You're right, though. If they find out that he did know the name, he's kind of...
Not knowing the name, I think he worked with them to write up his...
Who am I imitating, guys?
You.
No. This.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Bad Bunny's a rapper?
Our guest that we have that does this.
Our attorney.
You don't remember?
No, I didn't think he was he's not like that.
Oh, he was doing this. He was doing this.
Oh, that guy's got energy.
Which attorney is that?
Hi, Tom Martino here. This is the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's just get right to it.
Read about the show at referralist.com, okay? We have so much to talk about. I don't want to waste a lot of time with introductions. We do have CBD experts with us. We have Jamie and the whole staff at Panacea Life Sciences at our disposal if you need any information on CBD. And some people do. This hour brought to you by Renew Home Innovations. That's for quality and value in bathrooms. Now, they have some awe-inspiring bathrooms, and you'll spend on them, but it'll be worth every penny for what it does to your home. And then you have others. Basically, you can pick the value level you want, but it's beautiful. That's the point. I keep talking about this porcelain bathroom. I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable. You know, porcelain comes in sheets you can put on the walls. You can do a whole porcelain bathroom. Anyway, they also do walk-in showers and beautiful tub-to-shower conversions. This is RenewHomeInnovations.com, RenewHomeInnovations.com. The best in baths, and they specialize specifically in showers. 303-904-2000. So, a question for CBD very quickly, just quick. And I don't want you to think about your brand. I want you to think about CBD oil. If you take pure CBD oil, it's all the same.
No.
Why? Now that I thought, here's what I say. I say, well, if you take pure CBD oil and it's oil, it's the same and it works. Tell me why it's not the same. I want to be corrected. Why isn't it the same?
Well, so number one, Tom, when people say pure CBD oil, it's not necessarily pure CBD oil.
No, I'm talking
right?
about, okay, what do you mean by that?
Different companies will actually sell CBD oil that is not actually quality controlled to make sure you've got the amount of CBD.
That's why, okay, that's what I mean. If you had true, if you had true pure CBD oil from different sources, would they be equal if they were truly pure CBD oil?
Yes.
So the difference is not the way, I like to say this, people get upset, but the way God made CBD oil is the way he made it. It's going to work or not based on your cannabinoid receptors, but it's not the brand that makes the pure CBD oil work. It's not what you add to it. It's the purity of it.
Correct. Sorry, I misinterpreted your question.
No, I love what you said because the whole point is you won't get to the same.
Here's what I don't understand.
really, right? Have you found pure CBD oil, when you guys do testing, you like to brag about being the purest. Why?
Because it's really important that when people actually pull this material off the shelf, that they get the stated amount of cannabidiol and it does not have any contaminants.
Right.
It's really important.
But like with a pot plant, you can have one pot plant that gets you so high with one puff it's crazy, and another one you might call, dirt
But
weed.
that's THC, though.
That's what I'm saying, THC. So you're saying CBD, there's not better strains, for lack of the technical word, than there are? I mean, I don't understand.
Sure, there are different strains that actually have more terpenes as well as more cannabinoids, right, other than THC.
But given the same strain, the purity is what counts.
Yeah, and so permit me 1 second to go back to what you were saying. What if that THC plant, that marijuana plant, was sprayed with a pesticide, and you're smoking that pesticide, right? That's the level of lack of controls or regulation that we actually face. So it's really important that when your listeners are looking for a CBD oil,
right, that
they are rest assured that this material is actually manufactured cleanly and reputably, so it has quality control.
And it has the amount you say.
Correct.
Exactly. Okay, by the way, 20% off realcbdthatworks.com if you put in the promo code Martino. Now, I want to ask Frank a very simple question. If you knew that this consumer, Frank, you knew the consumer had gone to another real estate agent and submitted an offer, and that offer was countered, and the consumer purposely let it expire. And then he says, but now I want you, Frank, so I let that expire, but I want you to submit on the same exact property the same offer that was countered. How would you feel about taking that case? Or would you think that's between him and that other guy, I'll take it?
Well, that is a
It's hard. Maybe,
it is tough.
and I don't pretend you know. You may not know until it actually happens.
Sometimes you get in these situations and you just got to deal with them. So I'm going to give you just this is the answer. This is what I would do. I would present it to my seller because I have to present it to the seller. I would also let RE/MAX headquarters know about the situation, see if there's anything they're seeing that I wouldn't see. If I thought there was something hokey, Tom, something underhanded, something dirty, I may have to just step out of the deal. But
what would be dirty? Let's just say it like it is. He just didn't like the guy.
Yeah, see, and
there was no contract.
Yeah, and there was no contract.
And, Tom, the problem with that is that's not for me to decide. That's between them. But the problem is, for the buyer is this. He's probably going to get himself and open up a can of worms. That's going to probably land harder on the buyer.
Here's the pure thing. You wouldn't care. You would take it. You would submit the offer.
Well, I have to.
I'm talking about being a buyer's agent, Frank. I'm talking about being, if this buyer came to you and said, I
thought you were asking me if I'm a listing. No, if I'm a buyer agent and they came to me, no, I would probably stay out. In fact, I would stay out of that. I would stay out of it. I wouldn't say probably. I would definitely stay out of that.
So you wouldn't take it knowing what just happened?
Oh, no. The stuff like that I stay out of. No. Now, if I'm on the listing side, that's different because I have to present it to my seller.
Okay, enough said. I get it.
Okay, all right.
Anything else you want to say on it?
All I was going to say, if I'm standing there and he says, hey, I had a problem with this guy, I want you to submit the offer now. Yeah, if I knew something like that was going on, I would not want to be involved in that. No.
But if you get an offer from a buyer, no matter who it is, you submit it to your seller because that's your job. You're not going to get involved in their mess.
And Tom, I apologize because I misheard you. I didn't know you were talking for me as the buyer agent. I thought you meant if I was on the listing end.
No, but on the listing end, you would do your job, and you don't get involved.
I would do my job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Frank, and you wanted to talk about something other than this anyway. What was it? Very quickly while you're on.
Oh, we're doing our home buyer workshop February 29th. It'll be at 97th and Wadsworth at the RE/MAX building.
February 29th. Okay.
Free workshop from 9 to noon, and we're going to give a lot of free information for first-time buyers, and not just first-time buyers, all buyers. It's going to be a great thing.
This is important.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking to buy, you'll learn a lot. It's on the 29th.
Of February, on a Saturday, and all they got to do is go to our website, and they can sign up there. It's free.
Let's do it, and it's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now, Kevin has, Chris. By the way, Kevin, we're just giving opinions. You know that. So you can do it any way you want. You were the original one that called us. Chris, you're having a problem with a contractor. What's the problem, Chris, with the contractor?
Right, and use it as a learning tool.
Chris? Okay, I'm going to put him on hold, and I'll go over and talk to Jen. Jen, go ahead. What's going on with you, Jen?
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good. What's happening?
All right, here's my story. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to become homeless because I'm getting thrown out of my house.
Now, when you say thrown out of your house, is this because of an eviction?
Well, it's my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's
that's all that matters. So you are living with a woman, and she's kicking you out.
Yes, sir.
Now, why tomorrow?
Well, she says that she's got to go to work, and she just doesn't want me in the house with her new roommate.
How long you been living there? How long you been living there?
6 years.
Oh, my goodness. So are you guys, like, romantically involved?
We used to be.
And when did that end?
That ended, about 6 months ago.
Well, wasn't the handwriting on the wall back then? Did she say, Jen, you ought to find another place?
Yeah, she did, but
okay.
We could just live together as roommates. But right at this point, Tom, I'm going to make it short and simple.
Yeah.
And I know this is probably not really down your alley, but
well, we'll try. We'll try to help. What do you need?
I need a place to live.
Okay.
How much do you make a month?
Well, right now I'm currently unemployed.
Well, that's the big deal. So
never would have guessed.
Were you paying this woman to stay there at all?
Yes, sir, I was.
When was the last time you paid her?
Well, you see, what happened was I moved out.
When did you move out?
I moved out 6 months ago.
When you broke up?
Yes, and then she let me come back and let me stay here.
Okay, and when you came back, when did you come back?
I came back 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so you've actually been gone this entire time except for 2 weeks.
Yes, I've been living in a place called Byers, Colorado, which is 50 miles east of Denver.
Okay, so when you came back, what was the agreement, that she would let you stay temporarily?
Yes.
Okay, so now temporarily is up. So can you go back to Byers?
No, I can't.
Why?
Well, for one thing, my van is broke down and I have no transportation.
Jen, you do realize, listen, let me just call it like it is. I don't want you to take this personally, but it may get personal.
No, I know what you're going to say.
You sound like a loser, and I don't mean that as a, well, I don't know how else to put it. You don't have any income, you don't have a van. I don't want to sound heartless either, though. There might be reasons for all of this, but it's not like you didn't have time. When you were kicked out 6 months ago and you went to Byers, who were you living with?
A friend of mine.
Okay, what happened there?
Well, there's no work in Byers, Tom.
Well, did your friend get tired of you?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, man. How about...
I'm just, I'll be being honest.
I want you to be honest because that's the only way we can help you. Jen, do you have a substance abuse problem of any kind? Just spill it out.
Well, I did. I'm an alcoholic, but I haven't been drinking.
You should go to Step Denver and see if they can help you out. Because, and Step Denver will truly help people who are alcoholic that truly want to make a change with a job, with a place to live, but you have to be sober. And if you're not sober now, you got to be sober. If you can do that, that's real help. So is the Salvation Army, believe it or not. That's real help. It is, and it's for people down and out. If you'd like to hold on, we can try to get someone from Step Denver to talk about walk-ins and just if it's even practical or what they do. I love that program. It's worth plugging them. And then the Salvation Army. Let's talk. There might be more people in your situation.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
What do you think?
Hold on, guys.
Okay. Is it only you, Mark? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna...
I think, what do I think? I think the guys doesn't
He's a
like
loser.
working. All right, Master Rooter. I've been talking about these guys a while now. 24/7 emergency service. They're great plumbers. On top of that, they're not going to rob you. They have very, very good prices. They have discounts for military, senior citizens. They even have discounts for single-income families. Maybe you just need a new faucet put in. Maybe you just want a toilet replaced. Maybe you need an entire sewer line. And by the way, if you ever are told you need a sewer line, these guys will not only do a free second opinion, you know what else they'll do? They'll save you a ton of money on it. And I'm going to say one more good thing about them. One more great thing. If you live in the Denver metro area, they'll give you a free estimate and they won't charge you a trip charge. Master Rooter Plumbing, 720-434-3406, 720-434-3406.
Garage doors are
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's the difference between okay, CBD for anxiety and CBD for sleep? Is it
Like right now.
Okay, what about for pain?
I saw it. I read that. Do you think it's... I asked him. I sent an email out to that guy. It's right here. What did Garvin, that was the other company, do to clear the line? I want to know what... I want to know, was it a... In other words, did they do a temporary fix? Or did they fix it permanently? I want to know, because let me tell you, the difference between this and this is crazy.
I know what this is. They're going to dig up their driveway.
I know. I know what it is. Now, if there's a big tree root that went through it and somehow this guy was like, hey, this might work for a little bit, that's a whole different story.
Well, if you're able to, and the anti-inflammatories help with stuff down there, cholesterol and everything.
Trust me, I get it, man. I mean, it is what it is, but that's why I want to know what graphene or whatever they are has to say. But yes, I read it. I'm like,
everyone agrees inflammation is bad.
I mean, come on, slow down.
So what about someone calls up and says, I want to use CBD, show them the pain.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, but I mean, who knows? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Who knows?
We don't need Frank to
I think generally that's how they do it. I can call sometimes Plumline. If I got something come in, they can go 8 months, a year back and grab the video because they put it all up on YouTube.
In Palmer. And her fibromyalgia is so...
It's a crazy show.
Do you think Bernie fucking hits it tonight?
By CBD, with CBD by itself.
Out of the park.
You can't get her down to
Mark,
I don't know.
You know what? You would come unglued. You think what I say is bullshit? You should read. You don't read any of these discussion boards on
about what?
Where these young people believe.
No, I don't.
Mark, it would blow your fucking
mind.
mind.
No, it just get my fucking blood pressure.
Tom, don't you think a lot of it are these are the vocal ones? These are
there's no difference formulations.
Oh, it's definitely not an average Democrat. Jesus Christ, it couldn't be.
Okay, that was
But I don't think it's the average. But I do think it's the average young person.
Right, I have a buddy that has a lab.
Oh, I agree with that. Especially like say when you go.
Well, the problem is they don't
Gen
teach
Z.
Produce the CBD oil.
And that gets me about free college too. Is all we're going to do is perpetuate that fucking bullshit.
No, I'm not talking deadbeats. You have to pass. You have to get an entrance exam.
But you know what other
the SATs and
most people raised on less than in these days 20,000 a year. It doesn't matter if you offer them free college. They're just not. They simply are not going to be able to.
They have to pass the ACTs and the SATs, right? That's a good screening tool. But I think the reason
but
that
then colleges like Harvard, it has nothing to do with that. You got to have. Man, look at all these people that were paying. No. I'm saying people paid $500,000 to get their kid into that fucking California, let alone Harvard.
It's that
their
people,
kids couldn't get in, and they're fucking millionaires.
My only thing on free college, Tom, is if you do it, the college's price is going to go up higher. Because what made college go up so higher? The government loan.
Just like healthcare.
No, the government loan.
Right.
Anybody
Because they
can
can
get a
afford to
government
do
loan.
it.
Right.
Why?
And so what's that?
They could afford to do it with the government loan program.
Yeah, but they're their own business.
Now they have trouble.
Now all these kids basically
obviously to do what I'm talking about takes,
Exactly right.
takes
Colleges,
massive. I mean,
we had a doctor.
Because look at all these kids coming in.
We have a young doctor that comes in like you every month or so. Well, sometimes it's a different guy.
You don't mean
Are
me.
you calling me old?
30-year-old kid. 30-year-old kid.
How much?
Half a fucking million in debt right now.
Well, it takes about 300,000 to get the water
phase for 37 years.
60 grand a year.
Are you a lawyer?
Am I a lawyer?
Yeah.
No.
60 grand a year.
I kill myself first.
You know how much it costs to become an engineer now? $12. I can sell you a shirt. It says I'm an engineer.
Well, I mean, School of Mines is not cheap either.
Probably 60.
We got Step Denver.
No, fuck no. School of Mines, no way, dude. No way. School of Mines is fucking way better engineering school.
Oh, better engineering school. I'm saying it's cheaper.
No way.
CU. I think
He thinks CU's cheaper than School of Mines. No way.
Okay.
Wait, how much? Double or nothing?
Let me tell you, School of Mines is a
By the way,
Hey, Dan, be careful, because he's got like $200 that he's willing to bet on anything, because it's a win-win for him.
No, he bid on the double or nothing.
27.36.
Did he take you?
Which one?
School of Mines,
Mark, at halftime,
undergraduate
he
tuition
took you?
fees in-state is 17.8.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Now listen, this is
What did
really
he see?
important. Jen called and said he's been an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic. He's been clean. Who knows? He's been out of work, he doesn't have a place to live. He's going to be homeless tomorrow. Then I thought Step Denver is such a great program. Started many, many years ago. Used to be called Step 13 for those old timers, and Bob Cote started it. But I just want to know in general. Of course, Paul can't speak to this one case, but I want to talk in general about Step Denver. Paul, you take people who have substance abuse problems and all kinds of people, homeless and all of that, and you help them. Who do you not take? Who do you not take?
Tom, good afternoon. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yes, Paul.
What we're doing is we're looking for highly motivated men who are suffering from the disease of addiction and who have the consequences associated with that, right? And they have nowhere else to turn.
Okay, so highly motivated men who have a substance abuse problem.
Correct. And the only ones we don't take, and this is based on our transitional housing permit from the city and county of Denver, are people that have severe violent background histories, murder, sex crimes, crimes against children.
What about mentally ill? What about mentally ill?
So we will take folks that have mild mental illness issues, anxiety, depression,
right,
the low end of the bipolar spectrum. Because we're not a clinical facility, we don't have psychiatrists, doctors, counselors. We can't take those folks that have severe mental and physical disability. So what we do is during the application process, we're going to ask a series of questions that's going to give us an indication of where the applicant is with respect to those things, Tom. And then if they have a need for a higher level of clinical care, we have a number of partners throughout the city that will connect that individual with. So anyone that does call us is going to get help, whether it's with us or through one of our partners.
Now, Paul, for lack of a better term, you take walk-ins, people who just show up.
Exactly, or folks that call on the phone.
Okay, now when somebody
over the phone.
Right. When somebody fills out an application, what if somebody is a drunk and they're drunk or they were drank this morning, but they are highly motivated or they want to be straight? Do you wait until they're dried out, or can they come in while they're, where do you get involved in that chain?
That's a great question, Tom. And what we do is, if we realize that an individual is drunk or high, our partnerships with the local detoxes allow us to get that individual, if he's amenable, directly into detox right then, and then the person will stay from 72 to 96 hours, depending on what it is they're detoxing from, and then they will come back directly to us after the application process. So we have these partnerships with Detox in which we get them directly to them, then they will get those highly motivated men directly back to us once the detox process is complete.
And then do you have ongoing testing?
We do. Every time an individual walks through the front door, Tom, they are required to take a breathalyzer to ensure that they're not drinking. And then between 1 and 3 times a week, the gentlemen take random urinalysis tests.
What do you do for people once they're in the program?
Be a little more specific. About what you mean.
Okay, so now they get dried out. They have monitoring. What do you have? Like, okay, John, tomorrow we're going to have you start work here, or how specific does the help get?
Another great question. So once the men enter our program, there is a full 1-week orientation in which that individual is learning about our program, is doing some light custodial work to earn his keep in the morning. And then in the afternoons, we have a full-time career counselor in a dedicated career center here on site, and he works directly with them to help get them employed. We don't give the men jobs, or we don't get jobs for them. We help them to get their own job, because the sense of accomplishment and the momentum created for an individual that's been homeless and probably unemployed for a good period of time is the sense of accomplishment and momentum that comes from getting a job on their own is extremely beneficial to that person's self-esteem and their motivation moving forward.
Then once,
as far as
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No. I mean, if you wanted to finish up, go ahead.
As far as the addiction programming goes, each of the men is assigned a recovery support manager. This is a case manager that actually is a graduate of our program, has gone and gotten a peer and family coaching certification, and works one-on-one with these men in a 4-phase program in which they set a variety of different goals. They have to hit different milestones. They're meeting with them on a weekly basis. In the evenings, there is addiction recovery education, programming, small groups, 12-step groups, things that are geared to put sobriety as the most important foundation of the rebuilding of their life.
But once they are sober and then they start to get a job, then what? Do you transition them out of step Denver? Like, for example, how do they get a place of their own and all of that?
That's another great question, Tom. I love the way you're leading this. Our men are geared to be here anywhere between 6 months and 18 months, depending on their situation. As soon as they're employed, they're required to put 20% of their gross income into savings in preparation to build that nest egg for when they transition. As they work with the recovery support manager, that individual helps them to put together a transition plan for them to move at the time they're ready into independent or semi-independent living, be it back with family, their own apartment, another sober living home, or into one of the 3 sober living homes we have where they can continue the program of structure and accountability.
So what would be a success rate, if you can call it that, an average of 100 people in? How many people? I mean, do you follow up like that?
We do follow up like that. Once an individual transitions out of our program, we have a recovery engagement manager that calls them on monthly intervals to follow up with them, providing them additional coaching, connecting them with continuing recovery resources. But that person's also collecting outcomes data. Are you still sober? Are you still employed? What does your housing environment look like? Your financial environment, your family situation. And what we're doing is collecting those outcomes measures to check on the efficacy of our program and make improvements where we can. So the national average for long-term sustained sobriety is somewhere between 12 and 15%. as reported by SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Department of the federal government. We have found over the past 3 years of collecting data that the successful outcomes rate for our men, and these are the men that we're able to get in touch with, is 30%.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, bottom line, you are the program everyone needs. I'm just shocked you're not bursting at the seams and constantly full, graduating people out the door all day. I mean, I imagine a lot of people enter and drop out.
That's exactly right. Different people are at different stages in their level of readiness for this. A lot of people are just, I want to get off the street today, and they do, and then they stop drinking for a month, and they feel healthy, and I have a job, and they're like, I don't need all this.
Right.
I'm fine.
Bob Cote told me one thing that was interesting. He said, Tom, we have a 100% success rate for people who truly want to change. He's right.
It's true. Anybody that wants and does do this the way it's suggested is successful in this.
All right. Now, STEP Denver, by the way, a private organization accepts donations, nonprofit. Please help them when you get a chance. And I want to ask how people donate, because what you just said, how many people you help, instead of people just flapping their gums, you are helping. Please tell me the best place for people to go if they're interested in helping.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. As you know real well from our previous discussions, we accept no government funding of any type that allows us to do our program the way we want. And it allows for the valuable tax money that your listeners pay on an annual basis to go to truly needy situations for our community. So anyone that is able to help us, we only get donations through private donors. They can go to stepdenver.org. That's stepdenver, all one word, .org. And in the upper right-hand corner will be a donate button, and we would be truly grateful for any help that anyone can give us. Same thing, if you know somebody that needs help, you can go to that website, you can read about our program, and it will give you instructions on how to apply.
All right, thank you very much. StepDenver.org. We have more coming up, and I'm going to talk to Jen. Plus, Chris has a contractor problem. Josh wants to talk about purchasing an older car. Deborah, the best internet service. All of that.
This is Denver's talk station.
Sounds like a perfect place for this.
It is so wonderful.
I think Step Denver is the way they
It's one of the best programs ever.
And this guy sounds fairly intelligent and literate.
I mean, as a man, I'm embarrassed that they have to have programs like this, but this is at least
such a wonderful program.
How do they get funded? Donations?
Totally private. No government funds whatsoever. All self-sustaining. It's great.
That's the way everything should be.
Well, if you take a look at the opiate demographics, it's women more than men.
No way, really?
Women?
More than men.
Why is
that?
There must be something.
It's, elective surgery. In terms of the elective surgery piece, then they come out opiates, and then
boob jobs, cosmetic
jobs, liposuction, things of that nature.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union. Need funds to help.
I don't even know. What do you think it feels like being?
Get down fast in 10 seconds.
Opiate? Well, you've done opiates.
You've never taken it after post-op?
All right.
I have.
Here we go.
Equal opportunity round 2 NMLS 421606.
Get found fast. That's what we all want when it comes to the internet, and we're in business. You want your website to be seen. You want your business to get business because of the internet. Too many people promise you, we're going to do SEO, and we're going to do pay-per-click, and we're going to do online advertising, we're going to do Facebook and social for you, and they don't do much, and they really don't know what they're doing. This is a company universally trusted by many. GetFoundFast.com.
Yeah, when I had my abscess tooth.
I think I've had Tylenol 3s.
That's
which is codeine.
Yep, I've had a Percocet or Percocets.
Percocet is with.
What's the other one? It sounds like Percocet, but those are way stronger, right?
No.
One is
aspirin, one is Tylenol. That's all.
Oh. I think that's it.
What's Dr. Kelly's last name? Do you know?
Dr.
Jerome or something like
I'll
that?
find it.
But I didn't take it. I didn't even begin to get like that. In fact, they quit working after.
I think it's Jerome.
I've taken it after surgery for sure.
I had abscess tooth. That was the most painful thing.
Yep.
Lamoreaux.
Lamoreaux.
Really, Dr. Kelly Lamoreaux. It's different than her husband then. Lamour.
Well, I'm assuming they have the same last name. Am I wrong?
No, that's okay. Lam. I don't know what it is. Go ahead. I just remembered Oh, maybe his first name or something. It was weird. Jerome. That's what it was. So that her last name, I believe, was what you're saying. Lamour. Lamoreaux.
I gotta look.
Lamoreaux.
I gotta look it up again.
Fit mom of
Calm
4.
down, Becky.
Fit mom of 4 or whatever.
Lamoreaux.
Yeah.
Pronounced Smith.
Lamoreaux.
What kind of jocks are they?
She's a dentist.
What kind of what?
Oh, dentist.
She's good too, man.
Mark, you like her, huh?
I do like her a lot.
She's very attractive.
That was
No, I do like her. She did a really good job on the veneers for Suzanne. Really good job.
Great job. Great job.
Ford was up 25 cents today at the beginning.
Is that before?
My stock is up
was
15.
that after your
I need to put
message?
on the big board this
What's
one
that?
that we're
You have
doing,
that viral
the
Ford
sign
thing?
it was. The big board.
Right.
Did you know,
What was the sign?
I didn't realize this. Their fucking finance company
Colorado
makes a
Crust.
ton of fucking money. I didn't know they owned Ford Finance. I thought
Colorado Crust. The guy's
had
name was
real
They
Andrew.
created it so everybody could buy a car.
And he was dealing with
Tesla's up 16%.
I
illumination
fucking hate
sign
Tesla.
graphics.
Hate it. Fucking $700, man. That prick. I
Hey,
went
Mark.
to short it one day, and this asshole comes out and says they're going to go private, and the fucking stock goes up. I'm in a short position.
Next time we make a bet,
Yeah.
we're donating it to Step Denver.
No, we're not.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry, bro.
Seriously, Step Denver, I think is a good. I donate to them. So just
I do direct
Are you
donations.
handling that sign problem to follow up to see if anything? Oh no, you are. Never mind. Definitely Doc.
No, I've got it on.
You put it on.
I got it on right here.
You're.
I put it up here.
No,
Please
no,
help
but
us.
he's handling. He's
Right,
going to
right.
find out if anything.
Please help our
happens.
sign caller get his sign.
You know what? You should call up one more time and see if you can leave one more message. I'll be very curious if you can leave a message.
Colorado
Let us
Crust.
know real quick.
Colorado Crust
Pizza company.
paid deposit.
So twice as many men are addicts, but women are more likely to overdose.
Oh, okay. The dose in there. Okay.
So that's
The
where
deposit was like $4,000, right? Something like that. Oh, 6,500.
And usually that's.
Yeah, I know. I reached out to him. I'll call him after the show.
He could help an addict.
We're working with Tribe Recovery to see if we can actually get state funds to help them in transition.
What do you help? Well, how would it help?
You're
In what
from
way?
Seattle? Oh, go ahead.
I am from Seattle.
So you know what's that up there.
Oh, hell yeah. So there are, matter of fact, I would love to get the Step
Oh.
Denver's contacts. So they go into, folks go into drug court.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get them to use an alternative substance, whether it's a smokable CBD cigarette or just the Daily 75, to see if they can use that to curb cravings.
Have there been any studies?
There's smokable CBD right now.
Absolutely.
A lot of it.
Yeah, but that's bad for you.
It's really good.
Or vaping.
Vaping.
Well, you can do
It's smokable, but they vape it, and it really works well.
That can't be good for your lungs, though.
But you know what they do is they get these guys on tobacco cigarettes to try and do the.
Oh, so you're
Mark,
saying it's
lesser
the
harm.
better of two evils.
But here's the deal, Mark. The vaping doesn't hurt your lungs.
Sure
Popcorn lung, man. It's fucking huge.
Even vaping,
people have died.
So what is it about vaping then that causes it? It's not what you're vaping.
You still have all that tar and
in normal vaping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have you
I
seen
didn't
the
know.
Look up
Have you seen
popcorn
the-
lung.
So vaping is bad, basically.
Yeah.
All vaping.
Fluid that goes in there? No.
So then, what about smoking CBD?
tied to
The
vaping,
same. Why don't people get popcorn lung from smoking?
Because they don't have all the additives.
Wow.
Have you seen the concentration that comes out of? You can tell when somebody's vaping. It looks like a chimney on the day.
Yes, looks like a...
So it's not better
really
for you
weird,
than smoking.
actually.
It's worse.
They're
Hi,
getting
Tom
there.
Martino, your
Troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Listen, I apologize for people waiting. We'll get right to the phones now. Chris, I tried going to you before. What's going on with a contractor? We want to get someone working on this.
So I had a hail claim from September.
All right.
And they came out, they did my roof, replaced all my gutters, replaced my garage doors, and painted my house.
Okay. And who did this? Who did this?
Restore Colorado.
Restore Colorado. Okay. And did your insurance pay?
Yes.
And did you pay a deductible?
I had to pay my deductible, and I paid most everything to the Restore too. They said that on the contract, it said I could hold 10% of the original contract amount for punch ticket items.
Yeah.
And I had held like $1,400 back because I wasn't going to pay him for the paint, but then they were telling me that I was trying to hold the money because I didn't want to pay my bill. So I paid them another $1,000.
How much total have you paid them?
About 19 grand.
And how much is due?
I owe them another $422.
Okay, so what's the problem today? What can we help you with?
The paint is, it looks like a kid went and painted it with a spray can. I have overspray. I have paint all over my concrete. It's already.
Do they acknowledge this? Do they acknowledge it needs to be redone?
No, they told me that my wife was there, and my wife told the painter that everything looked okay. My wife told them that they needed to talk to me, and my name's the only one that's on the contract.
When did they complete the job in their mind?
Probably the middle of November, first part of November, middle part of November.
Okay, so right now you've been just fighting with them trying to get it done?
Is this the video we have?
Yes.
Who
and
did
that was
this,
from
Mark?
another painter who came out.
Oh,
and
the
I'll
video.
give the name if you want me to. He came out, gave me the bid, and then pointed out everything.
Okay, so it's bad news, Mark, huh?
I don't know. You got to watch it. It's one of these, like, I don't know, man. The guy's, I don't know.
What do you think? Just say it. You don't know. Say
Well,
it.
just looking at the video, I mean, he's pointing out such little things in some places. I don't know what to make of it. It seems to me
So
like
my thing is the overspray and the high-low spots because the north and south side of my house are huge.
Yeah,
parts.
but can it?
And
I would assume he can fix that pretty easily.
They won't come out and fix it though.
Okay, well, let's call him and see if we can't light a fire under their ass to come out and fix it. I don't think the whole thing needs to be repainted by any stretch.
I would totally agree with that. There's some parts on the gutter. I mean, there's brush.
I mean,
parts
how much do you think it would take to finish this?
Dollar-wise or time-wise?
Time-wise.
Well, either one. Money. Did you have it?
All I'm saying is, worst scenario, they could hire someone like Steve the painter to come out and do the touch-up.
That's what I'm getting
and
at.
It wouldn't be that
we
much.
We need to know, though. We need to quantify it. Did you have it quantified?
On the guy that has that video, he basically said it needed repainted. The estimates for like $6,200.
That's going to be ridiculous. That's going to be ridiculous. Do you really? Do you personally believe it needs to be repainted?
No, I think the gutters need to be redone, and the north and south side of the house need to be redone, and they need to fix the overspray that's everywhere.
Did you see the video, Tom?
I'm trying to find it here now.
I'll resend it to you.
But is it? Okay, I think I have it.
It looks like somebody rattle canned the side of the house because there's a bunch of like dark, even dark spots. So whenever you go through, it looks like it's wavy on the north.
Okay, but here's the bottom line: either it's bad or it's not, and how much. We just have to put a price to it. What do they agree? Nothing. They say it's perfect, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and all you withheld right now is 400 and something. What do you want?
Like
what do you want? Tell me what you want.
I want the paint on the gutters touched back up, and I want the sides of the house to look even.
Okay, if you did this, if you redid it and sued them for it in small claims court, you know it won't be that much money. Are they threatening you at all?
Yeah, that's what started the whole thing. Was I told them I wasn't going to pay them the rest until they fixed it. They told me it was done.
Yeah.
Then they said they were going to send me a right to lien. And I said, well, I'm getting a
Did
quote
they ever
from a
send
painter.
that to you? Did they ever
No,
send
they
it to you?
have not.
Well, then they
No.
can't lien you. Did they never? Wait, how long do they have to lien? Hasn't it been too long right now? 120 days?
Yeah, it hasn't been long enough yet.
Okay, no, it hasn't. So I'm looking at the paint job here, and I'll have to look at it and see. But
Dan, you've been staring at it. What do you think?
I just don't see that much.
Yeah,
but I'm not out there.
I don't. Maybe what I'm saying is the video doesn't tell the story.
Right. That's exactly. Steve the painter could go out there. And
I know that
he's a perfectionist. He would know.
This video doesn't show bad stuff. I mean, it looks. I see a little tiny bit of overspray here. I think it can be fixed. I mean, right? I mean,
I totally agree with that, but they won't do anything.
To say this has to be repainted is. And what are you showing me on the gutter?
That's not him. That's another painter.
Okay.
On the gutter specifically, I mean, you see brush marks, which I don't care, but you can still see raw metal.
Yeah,
like
but
they
we're
did.
talking
There's not
about
enough
tiny
coverage.
little pieces that could have been chipped after he painted it. Look, here's the thing. I don't want to belabor this with people listening, but I think we need someone to quantify it. That's it. Just quantify it. 303-713-TALK. Hold on. Dap, let's see if we can have somebody look at it real quick. And Deborah, what's going on with you, Deborah?
You there?
Hi,
Hello?
what's happening, Deborah?
Hi. Yeah, I wanted to find out from you. We don't live in Colorado. We live in Tennessee, but we used to live in Colorado. And I wanted to find out who do you recommend to get internet service for a home?
Where though? What part of a home?
Oh.
Is it out in the country? Is it in the city? Where is it?
It's in the city.
Well, man, we got a lot of good providers. That's the good news.
Well, she's in a different state, though.
No, she's talking about, well, which one? Are you talking about Colorado or in Tennessee?
No, we're in Nashville, Tennessee right now. And because the reason is I wanted to find that out because we want to find out how we can stream the Bronco game.
No. Do you want internet service where you live?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Tennessee.
In Tennessee. Okay, hold on a second. I think we have some ideas.
Now, impact traffic.
You said Nashville.
I'll look up this.
Okay, is Comcast there? That's the easiest.
Yeah, but her real question is watching the Broncos.
The NFL ticket.
Well, she wants to get the NFL ticket. Is that available on Alt's cable?
DirecTV and Comcast.
Then she has to get DirecTV.
No, she doesn't.
Why?
Because there's other ways.
She just goes direct.
No, there's even a different way that's really.
Well, hurry up.
Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee internet providers.
I mean, you going back to the vaping thing?
Yes.
It's there's a lot that's not known. There's been 56 people that have actually developed severe lung disease.
But that's not where he's looking for he's looking for it in Nashville, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
No? He wants it, she said he wants it in Colorado.
She said Nashville.
He asked me to find out where Deborah lives in Tennessee.
No, I found
Okay,
it.
listen. This person is asking for internet service where?
In Nashville.
Nashville,
In
Tennessee,
Nashville.
yes. AT&T or Xfinity.
Okay.
What are the other ways?
And then I said, Chris.
Earthlink. I mean, that's like a million years old. That's really it. It's going to be Xfinity or AT&T.
Sir, is in Johnstown.
AT&T is going to be their
Okay, sorry, got you mixed up. Okay.
NFL.com.
I don't know anybody. We're not going to make somebody go way out there.
You could get NFL tickets.
On NFL.com, right? That's the only thing you would need to buy. Right?
No. If you live in a house where you can put a dish up, they won't sell you.
What?
They won't. You can't get it through the internet.
You
You
got
got
to go to the cable provider.
You got to buy it
What? Who are
through
you talking about, Mark?
DirecTV.
Won't do what?
Or DirecTV. You can't. The only way you can buy the NFL package is through. You have to have a DirecTV subscription.
Right.
Unless you're a student, or unless the building you live in does not allow dishes, and they literally know that by address.
Why is
Then you can buy the NFL Sunday ticket.
Because they're using that as a marketing tool for DirecTV.
Yeah, that's why they pay so much to be the only ones that
But
can
who
have it.
offers it if it's not DirecTV?
The NFL sells it to DirecTV.
All right.
DirecTV resells it. And they're the only one that has it.
Well, then what difference does it make? If they're the only one that have it, you couldn't even have it with Comcast.
No. If you cannot get DirecTV service where you live and it's verified.
Right, then NFL will sell it to you directly?
Yes, then you download the Sunday Ticket app and you watch it live on the streaming app.
Okay.
But
I know what you're saying.
they make it hard. When I did it that way, I switched one of my credit cards to this building, to 4695 South Monaco. This building does not allow satellites. I don't care if I tell people, it doesn't matter. So I did that years ago. So I got I got the app that way. But it's $400 a fucking year. So you still got to be willing to pay $400 a year no matter what. Now, if you're a student, which my daughter is, and that's how I watched it this year, it's $99. And you do it through the app. It doesn't matter because most students live in a dorm.
And that app can be streamed to whatever device, including your TV, right? You just
anything.
Log on. The app itself, is it only for the phone? And
No,
then
you download it right on
smart TV.
Yes.
Only if the college is free.
Not all apps, though. Here's the thing: not all apps go on hubs. That's the problem.
No, but the NFL does.
Yeah.
It goes on Fire Stick. It goes on what's the other big one? Roku.
I feel like I don't know what it is,
but she has another option that is really good.
What's
So
that?
we're getting the first studies going.
I'll tell her.
Okay.
Because all she wanted, remember, was the Broncos games.
Right.
She didn't say all the games, just the Broncos games.
So
She has an alternative.
Sure. I can put him in touch with.
Is Kansas City going to be a dynasty?
Yes.
I read the thing.
Boy, the way they looked yesterday.
Do you want me to?
They're all young too, aren't they? Aren't they all young?
As long as someone doesn't offer him more money. That kid, I don't know where he's at in his contract, but holy shit. They're going to offer him more than any other quarterback ever. $200 million, I heard.
Why? Because he's
a franchise.
He is a franchise. I agree, man.
You must like living in Colorado.
This is the best place I've ever been.
Plus, he runs like a.
Can you imagine a $200 million contract and you're based out of Kansas? You could buy fucking anything in Kansas. Their cost of living's got to be half of ours.
So what is it right now? State capital.
But his renewal will be $200.
He's in his second year of a rookie contract.
In Washington, Oregon, they're so far.
There are limits on it.
Was he a number one draft?
That other quarterback worked under Brady for years.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Garoppolo. He did fine, you know. That one catch, two plays changed the whole game.
Well, they both had a turnover.
Yeah,
Tom Martino here. Let's go right to Deborah because this is important. Deborah, listen.
Mark looked up where you live, and he has some ideas because he does
either Comcast or AT&T. As far as watching the Broncos game.
Yeah.
If you have DirecTV, you can actually buy the NFL package. It's $300 or $400, whatever it is. If you have a kid in college, you could get it for $99 using their account. Now, if it's just...
No, are you saying you can buy it and use it on the broadband there? She doesn't have to have literally the dish.
Well, you have to have broadband.
Right, just broadband, though. She doesn't have to have DirecTV.
If most people have to have DirecTV in order to get the NFL Sunday Ticket, unless if you're a student or unless if you live somewhere where they won't allow you to put a dish up. Does that make sense?
Yes. Do you have a student in the household, Deborah?
A student being college student.
Deborah?
Well, she's gone.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So do you have a student in your household?
I do not.
Okay.
Here's your other option, just for the Broncos.
Listen, is it just the Broncos you want or all NFL?
Just the Broncos.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what I do if you're really set on that. It still costs some money like anything. You get Hulu Live. Right. When you set up Hulu Live, you can use whatever zip code you want. You can only change it a few times, though. So you're going to set up Hulu Live and use like 80237 Denver. You'll get all the Denver locals on your Hulu Live.
And therefore, you'll get Broncos.
It's about $50 a month.
It's really a great idea because Hulu Live in and of itself is a good service.
It's a cord cutter, long as you don't mind not having the Tennessee locals, and you can probably get those over air. So you can get all the Denver locals here, and then over the air, you can get your local locals.
On your digital. What would keep her from having? There would be nothing to prevent her from having normal local cable, meaning that cable with local affiliates, then adding Hulu Live to her broadband.
Yeah, but it's going to cost money. But if ever since they went to, what do they call it, HD? What is the new antenna? I forget. What's the over-the-air now?
It's digital.
High def, whatever.
Yeah, digital. Yeah.
I mean, she probably gets 20, 30 channels right there, and that costs $0. And then Hulu Live fills in all the national stuff like ESPN and everything else. There's no need to have both, is all I'm saying.
Do you have capability of doing? Are you willing to give up your locals?
She won't, because she'll have them over the air.
No, I know that, but I meant, are you willing to go with Hulu Live and put in a Denver Zip? If you are, it's the cheapest option, and you get your locals over the air. Or you can get both. There's nothing preventing you from having cable for basic, and then plus Hulu Live. Josh, we would love, Daff, if we
give out that code for Panacea again.
Panacea Life Sciences. So go to realcbdthatworks.com, realcbdthatworks.com. In the promo code, put Martino and get 20% off. That's realcbdthatworks.com, and then put in the promo code, the coupon code Martino for 20% off. Art of Granite. Direct stone importers for granite, quartz, and other natural stone. The material